Victory is yours. It belongs to those who fight, to those who act with courage, to those who aim for the top, without forgetting their dreams and where they come from. Victory, it's reserved for those who persist, for those who inspire respect in their team, fear in their foes, and passion in the crowd. 3 continents, 3 champions, 1 goal, victory.
Hello and a very warm welcome wherever you are around the world to the big finale of the Free Fire Continental Series 2020. My name's Johnny Cougar and I'm so very thrilled to be one of the hosts for today's Battle Royale. Coming up very shortly, we've got some exciting and multi-talented teams from Brazil, Mexico and Chile, all set to slug it out for the honour of the FFCS title and the massive prize money of $80,000 for the winner. Garena Free Fire has just won the award for the best esport mobile game of the year, and if you stick around with YouTube or Booyah channel, you'll find out exactly why Free Fire drags in over 100 million active users every single day. We've got some fantastic battles coming up from the best of Latin America as they get set to lock horns, but before then, let me introduce you to my co-commentator, Free Fire expert and super duper esports presenter, Anna Sheasdy.
Thank you so much, Johnny. Welcome, everybody. We are very thrilled to be bringing to you FFCS Americas. The world champion has been split in 3 parts, and this is the time to find who is going to be the winner for the Americas.
This is the moment of truth then in this Free Fire special. We've got some great stuff coming up. Stay with us for 6 battle royales.
Yeah, we have 8 teams from Brazil and 4 from Latin America. They are from They are from FFL from Latin America, and the other one LLBF from Brazil. And we know Brazil right now is the region to beat. They have won every single international contest since last year, the end of last year, and now Latin has the chance to learn and maybe take the crown from them.
8 teams from Brazil then, 3 from Mexico, 1 from Chile. As Anna said, Brazil, the hot teams. It's we're in Sao Paulo right now. I tell you, it is very, very hot. It's about 34 degrees outside the studio. The sun is shining. Who will the sun shine on here this afternoon in this championship? We should find out very, very shortly.
Yeah, we have just a little bit time left, so we are going to introduce soon a special guest that is going to tell you how everything is going to work, right, Johnny?
Indeed. Kelly's coming up in just a moment. We shall go behind the scenes with her.
Yeah, so we are going to call Kelly, a special character from the game that now is going to show you the backstage for FFCS.
Hello, everyone! Kelly is here! Thank you for tuning in to Free Fire Continental Series. Today is the finals for the America Series. We're going to witness an epic clash between the best teams from LBFF and FFL. I know all of you are very excited and can't wait to find out who will be crowned champions of the Americas. But before that, we have prepared something very special to open today's show and hype everyone up. Guess where I am right now? Ooh. Looks like we're going to have an amazing show here. Follow me. Let's take a look at the stage. Oh, wow. Oh, oh wow. Ooh, look at all these posters. Looks like we're going to have a concert. Wow, look at this. Who do you think it's going to be? Oh, hi, Miguel. Are you also here for the show? See you later. I'm showing everyone around.
Aren't we supposed to be on the stage soon?
Huh? Oh no! That's right! I need to do my makeup now!
Well, I need to be on the stage too. I'll leave this to you, buddy.
My yard, I won't be giving up at the start. Seen the struggles like, oh my god, still I'm standing here.
Took my chances, play my cards. Now me and my team go far. Won't give up, I'd rather starve. Baby, hold on, hold on.
Fighting through the pressure now, I made it, won't stop. Hating is whatever, cause I made it to the top. When you got the pressure, now we see what you got. You hating is whatever, now we got this on live.
Yeah. Ain't no sexo with a lit. Get it hit you can come live with it. En tu mente como una locura. Te pega la bala like booyah. I live in your status so critical. Dada la chamba la clínica. Me meto en tu mente, lo hice. Quemando todo lo que existe.
Tô no jogo, então avisa lá. Pronto, preparado, eu vim pra ganhar. Dentre os caras eu vou amassar. Mostra pra eles como é que se faz. No Free Fire nós tá demais. Ao nível que nós tava, querer reportar. A bola vai cantar.
Feel the pressure, jump is coming, coming.
You better watch out.
I'm on fire, baby, burn it, burn it. MVP like no one knows it, knows it. I'm too good for you, I'm too good for you. Ignis. Me, baby, I'm a J, my nice girl, I can take control, they won't. Me, I dance to the mess, but they, I'ma get ya right, cause it's two way out. Sure you can't win, cause I'm too good and I'm on my grind, oh. 샤벨이 나를 걸어주고 또 신나, 틱탁, kirai.
My friendship straight, you are regular. My money looks straight, you are regular.
I grind on way, 도만 안 통해, wanna yoko me, I get my bag.
Ain't no hit, no better, bro. I'm crucial, my competitors.
Passei a cal, vou lutear. Meu squad tá pronto pra rushar. Os inimigos não aguentam, só rajada violenta. Então experimenta, mas segura a sequência. Tô de nível 40.
Well, that was our special dancers. We're going to take a look at the teams competing here for this final in just a second.
Yeah, LBFF and FFL. Presented by Arctic Gaming, a team from Mexico. They are 2 times winner for their region, but they were 1 point away from getting the title again. Cruzeiro was one of the teams that battled in the play-ins to get here, so they will have a lot of opportunities now to show their game. We also have Flamengo B4, another team from Brazil. They are very aggressive, very strong. They also went through play-ins, and Ignis Esports is the champions for the Latin America region. They were, as I said, 1 point from the second place, but got to be here as the champions. We have Pain Gaming, who surprised us all in the Brazilian finals and got to be here straight away without having to go to the play-ins. Canids Kalunga is a very strategic team, especially with Juan Reda. they're a strategic player. We also have Santos, very aggressive as well. They have MVR, a player that almost got the MVP for his region. Savage Esports is a surprising team that probably not a lot of people expected to be here, but they are coming for the title. SS Sports is the champions from Brazil. Cauã is very aggressive and very strong. Everybody always talks about him, and he is here to show again. Team Ace is another team from Latin America region, and they like to play around a strategic and defensive way. Team Liquid, they were the champions for LBFF1, the first Brazilian championship we have, and now they have the chance to try to win another title. Vivo Keyd is, they have a coach that is the eternal second place. He got second place 4 times, and now he's going to try to get the first place this time, Johnny.
All the action then coming up here very, very shortly. Just to recap there, there's 8 teams from Brazil, 3 from Mexico and 1 from Chile, all in action here very, very shortly. 6 battles to take the crown, to take the big, big prize money. $300,000, that's not bad.
Not at all.
$8,000 for the winner, that's even better.
Yeah, not at all, not bad at all. They have the chance to get the prize money, but also have the title and represent their region. As we said before, Brazil is the main region right now, and Latin America have the chance to try to get that out of Brazil's hand. If we look at it, Brazil is the only region that has something to lose. So we know that this region has a lot of pressure on them, but they also have a lot of potential to keep winning. And Johnny, 6 battles, and every time we go to again, people will get points, right?
That's the idea.
Yeah, so first place get 20 points, second 17, and there we go. And each time they get 1 kill, they have 2 points. That's why kills are very important on Free Fire, because they're basically 10% of a booyah, of a first place on a map. But always it's important to survive as well, right, Johnny?
Absolutely. So you can see the booyah, you've got all the prestige, you've got all the kudos as having the booyah. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to take the championship. You've got to get the kills, as Anna said. You've got to finish really in the top half to get those 10 points, 10 basic points per round. That's going to keep you in it. Kills, though, really important. Strategy is important. When you get those kills,
yeah,
make all the difference.
And the biggest point difference is between 6th and 7th place. So it's important to get at least to the half of the teams surviving and then get a lot of kills. And as Johnny said, if you get the booyah, of course, it's a big thing. But we often see, Johnny, teams that didn't get the booyah, but is the team that had the most points because they were able to kill the most.
I've never had a booyah in my life, but I'm here. So that's living in proof that you don't have to get booyahs every time. It's about strategy. It's about timing your run. Don't die first. That's my advice.
Yeah, if you die first 0 points. It's not that good. And these teams will have 6 opportunities, 6 games to try to go and get those points. So we're going to look soon at the schedule and see, because we have 3 maps right now, and we're going to see next, right? We have 3 maps, you know, in the game, and we're going to play in those territories twice these days, Johnny.
Let's take a look at some of the players first and see what they've got to say.
Eu considero o Cauã o melhor do nosso time, nosso capitão. Quem já tem um entrosamento maior, a gente está junto há 2 anos.
Nosso estilo de jogo do Brasil é bem melhor que o da América Latina, que é mais ofensivo, mais agressivo. A gente sempre tenta buscar o dentro da safe, meio de safe, e por isso que eu acho que o nosso time vai vir para ganhar esse Continental.
Creio que o nosso diferencial do nosso time é a bala, e vamos para cima de todo mundo e pode esperar um time muito agressivo.
A maior diferença entre os times do Brasil para a América Latina, creio eu, que acho que muitos times do Brasil tendem a ser muito mais agressivos, sabe? De ir para cima mesmo, dar bala, e é isso. A nossa confiança está muito alta, a gente foi vice-campeão da LBFF, então acho que a gente tem potencial para disputar o título. O que vai colocar a Liquid na briga pelo título é porque a gente está bastante dedicado, estamos treinando muito e a gente já está meio que embalado pela LBFF e, se Deus quiser, vamos ser campeão dessa FFCS.
Acho que o diferencial do meu time é a experiência de todos os jogadores, a união de todos os jogadores e a confiança que tem os jogadores em si.
Nosso time é muito confiante em questão de bala e qualquer cara que nós vê já, nós tenta engolir logo para executar.
O melhor jogador para mim do time é o Jart, que sempre inspirei nele no rushadão dele, de MP40, essas coisas, e para mim ele é o melhor.
O diferencial do meu time é que não é uma equipe, é muito mais que isso, é uma família ali, uma união toda.
Para mim, o time mais perigoso seria a SS, é um time formado por jogadores de alto nível.
Bom, eu acredito que o time mais perigoso da FFCS, né, seja os 12 times mesmo, pelo fato de eles terem se classificado e terem sido os melhores da sua região.
O time que eu acho que pode ser mais perigoso do Brasil e da América Latina é a Savage, que é da América Latina, e do Brasil é a Ignis Esports, porque os caras fez uma competição muito boa na LBFF, amassaram na final.
Então, pra mim, tudo tá sendo muito novo, por conta que cheguei esses dias no GH, mas tô entrando muito bem com os moleques e entrei e amassei, o time amassou e classificamos, e agora é ser campeão no Continental, já é. No Continental, ya es.
Por ejemplo, lo que es por ahí también en mi persona. Somos nuevos jugadores que venimos de diferentes equipos y pues acoplarse a nuevas cosas es duro, ¿no? Pero pues no se podría todo eso sin el trabajo del staff, de los CEOs y de nosotros mismos.
El clasificar a la Fire Continental Series es algo bueno para nosotros. ¿Por qué? Porque vamos a volver a demostrar nuestro nivel en contra de los brasileños.
Pues siento que en Brasil lo conocen por muy agresivos, pero les faltan unas cosillas por ahí que nos hemos dado cuenta todos nosotros.
Y por algo están acá, así que nada, espero que cada uno pueda demostrar todo su nivel y dejar en claro que la región creció mucho, ahora hay mucho más nivel que antes y nada.
Yeah, so it's very nice to hear what they have to say because everything is on their hands right now, Johnny.
It's all to play for then in the 6 games coming up. We'll talk about the maps, we'll show you the maps very, very shortly, but it's all to play for. A lot of money at stake for the winners, of course, and those teams who finish higher up at the end of the league table. Players there mentioned who they think could be favourites, who they are worried about. They're the ones to watch out for. Doesn't always work out though, though it has to be said. Some of the surprises in this match you will see shortly.
Yeah, we talked about the booyah being very important, but if you get a lot of kills, you are able to get more points than the team that did the booyah. And this is very, we can see that with Flamengo, for example. It's a team that during the play-ins were not able to get any booyahs, but got here and now is going to represent Brazil. And they even say that they are the most Brazilian team here representing their country. So let's see how they will show in the first game soon, Johnny.
Oh, just in case you didn't know, you've got teams from Brazil. Cruzeiro, Flamengo, Santos, all representing football teams, soccer teams, if you want to call them that. Flamengo, the best supported football team in Brazil by a long, long way. Just in case you're interested, Corinthians are the second biggest team. Cruzeiro well down the charts, but they've still got a lot of support. Likewise, Santos, of course, world famous because of Pelé, amongst many, many others. But they represent their teams in Brazil. They have some firepower. Cruzeiro, you will see the Foxes, as they'll nickname the football club. Well, they play in a very similar way to the football team. And the nickname, they are a little bit sneaky. They will come into attack right at the end, but they are very effective. So look out for Cruzeiro.
Yeah, and Cruzeiro even said that they are going to look for Santos, that is another traditional sports team in Brazil, especially because they have a similar way of playing the game and being aggressive on specific times during the process of just looking for a place to stay and just survive while getting the kills.
And that is it. The teams know each other. They have an idea of what the opposition is going to do. It's not just about the kills here. There's a lot of skill. There's a lot of tactics involved. There's a lot going on up here. Believe me.
Yeah, and we are going head on to Bermuda. And Bermuda is basically the classic map in Free Fire. So everybody needs to know how to play here. So we are. This is a recipe for a great gameplay that we are going to see soon, and I expect some fights right in the beginning of the game, especially in Mil. That is a region that was very used by another Brazilian team, but they didn't classify here on FFCS. So now we have two teams trying to stay there and loot for the first time in the game, and then try to move around to survive.
Bermuda, the classic map, the first map, and then we'll go through the series of the 3 maps, and then we'll go back to Bermuda again in the second session here today in the finals.
And it's very important because the first half is the first time that the teams are going to really show their strength on each territory. And then when we are going back to those territories later today, they will have to adapt. If, for example, you played against another team right in the beginning of a game on the first time on a map, maybe on the second time you are not going to do that again if you lost the first, because you are going to go back to the lobby and not get any points. And we already talked about how important it is to just get those points, and it's just one place that is going to get the crown. So
action coming up very, very shortly then, this Free Fire special, the finals here coming up very, very shortly.
Yeah, and a lot of teams had to change their first place of loot, for this FFCS, because it is an international championship, and we have to know and try. Basically, the teams had to really think if it's worth it to fight for a place, or maybe just adapt and try to go to another region in the map. But it's hard, Johnny, because if you are used to just fall on one part and really know how to move around from there, change on just 1 week or maybe 2, it's not an easy thing to do.
That's it. Teams have their specific tactics. They know which works for them because every member of a team will have their own particular role. Of course, if you stay with those same tactics, if they work for you, the opposition knows what you might be doing. So it is tricky to decide how are we going to play in this particular match. Are we going to surprise our opponents? Are we going to do something which it works for us, but our opponents know what's going to happen? So it's getting that balance right, as we will see.
And we know that we have some teams that like to study their opponents and try to adapt to which one and try to punish them in the best way possible. And other teams just like to look at themselves and try to evolve. And this is just a choice that you have when you're playing competitive. And let's see what's going to work better here in this FFCS.
And the level, as you said, the level of these players, the skill involved is such a fabulous amount of skill. A lot of training goes into this. This isn't just players who've come off the street. We're going to have him or her, players who've been practicing this for a long time. There's a lot at stake. We talked about the money. It's also the kudos involved as well, being the champion of Latin America.
Yeah, Americas is all the region, and we are trying to find out who is going to be the champion. And if we are talking about the level of gameplay, especially on some players, we need to look at Ignis Esports. They have Carlos, who has more than 40% of their team's kills. So it is a player that we have to look out for.
Well, the action is coming up with us very, very, very shortly.
Yeah, Bermuda is coming, and this is the first game of today. FFCS, 8 games and just 1 winner, Johnny.
Just 1 winner, but points at stake. So as we said, the Booyah's great, but you don't necessarily have to get it. It's the league system. Remember that. It's the league system. You've got to pick up points. Now, what happens here normally is players tend to go for position. They're looking for loot, of course. Things don't necessarily happen straight away, and then suddenly bam, 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 game over, and we're going to have our first booyah.
And this is very interesting because Team Liquid was one of the teams that was going to fight for Mil, and now they are trying to get Arctic Gaming from Shipyard. They changed their place, their fall from the plane, and they lost some players already, Johnny.
Well, total teams, but we're down. 3 players have gone already. That's quick stuff. Arctic Gaming, very, very aggressive from them. Some of the teams, as we mentioned Cruzeiro before, you might not see them because they'll be hanging around the edges. They'll be very, very sneaky, and they'll come in for a kill very quickly. As we look at Team Liquid, 1 kill for them so far. Lucas on the board.
Yeah, and Team Liquid is a team from Brazil. As I said before, they were the winners for LBFF 1 in the beginning of the year, and now they are trying to show that they are still a team to beat. But they lost 2 players. The good thing for them, though, is that Arctic Gaming, they didn't try to just finish them all. They chose to just go away, and Team Liquid with only 2 players is going to be able to loot Shipyard all by themselves.
They've got it to themselves. The question now is how long can they stay alive, because they might be looking for kills, they might be looking for just points for staying alive and finishing higher up the table in this first battle royale.
Yeah, another team that I'm looking here, Johnny, is Ignis Esports, because they usually go to Santos, but the plane didn't help. It was quite far from that region, and we always question ourselves if they are going to go all the way through the other side of the map to stay and use the same spot, and they did. Let's see if this is going to be something that is going to work for them, or just going to maybe send them back to lobby later.
Well, this is the overhead shot of the map. As we expected, a little bit of a firefight to kick off with, but teams looking for the ideal place for them, looking for loot. This is where Arctic Gaming are now. That was a good spot for them. You can rain down firepower. A lot of teams like to go high as possible, so they can rain down with those shots of theirs. Can leave you a little bit exposed, though, at times.
Yeah, and Flamengo is also in a spot that they know very well. They fell on Bima, and now they are here just waiting for the game to happen, basically. So I know that they are here and they know how to spot every single team on other places if they are moving around and close to this region. Arctic Gaming, that we were talking about earlier, Johnny, is a team that is 2-time champion in the region. They almost got the 3 times this time, but they were 1 point behind, and they have a lot of experience in international championship, but they are also emotional. So if the Brazilian teams try to get in their heads and are able to do that, maybe they are not going to show the level of gameplay that we are expecting from them.
Well, this is Red Kalunga. And the frying pan is out. Anna, explain the frying pan for us.
So the players are always changing their weapon that they are holding, because it helps on the speed. And the pan, it also works as a shield, some type of shield, and can basically protect you from some bullets. So it's very useful.
Saw some of the players as we got a bit of a firefight here. Long range shots. It doesn't matter where you fire from, because those shots will go straight and true. They won't drop like in the physics of real life. Those bullets will just fire straight forever, come out of a screen. We've got 44 players still alive. Arctic Gaming now with 2 kills, but 12 teams still in this battle.
Yeah, 12 teams, 44 players alive. Arctic Gaming, you said, Johnny, that they like the high ground, the high spots, and they are here being able to look at Pain's movimentation and just trying to get some kills. But it's not going to be easy. Pain is a very aggressive team, and they have a grenade on their hands, and they are going to try to rush.
And if you've got the grenades like that, they can be very, very effective. You really have to use them properly, though. A couple of ones have been lobbed in, and then it brings out their opponent players, and this is aggressive stuff from Pain Gaming. Moving forward, looking for that first kill on the board, and they've got it already. Still got 12 teams at the moment, but I think that's going to change very, very shortly. 3 kills now for Pain Gaming. This is the problem, isn't it? You're there, you've got great positioning, but if you get stuck, you're in real trouble.
It's not easy to just go and hush on this spot, but Pain Gaming, as I said, is very aggressive and very confident that they can do that. In Arctic Gaming, we saw how they struggled on the beginning of the game, that they were not able to properly loot, and so they probably didn't have the resources to just go against Pain that way, so they're going to wait for the next game.
Well, the action then picking up here. We've got a team down already. One team has crashed out of the competition. That's our first loss, our first big loss of this first Battle Royale. And as we said, things relatively quiet so far. And then suddenly we're going to have firefights galore as things heat up here big time.
Yeah, Head is right now trying to just pressure Cruzeiro, but they really know each other. These teams, they are very used to face each other in their championships. So right now, it's probably we have some Brazilians watching, just hold on to their hearts, trying to just cheer for their team and wait to see what happens next.
Well, Cruzeiro, as we said, normally very, very quiet before they come in for the kill. On the move, they need to get cover, you need to get protection. You've got shields you can put up, of course, if necessary, but nobody spotted them as they move around. Nobody's gone to the vehicles so far. Vehicles are great to get you around the map, of course, but they show you exactly where you are to your opponents because they make so much noise, these cars.
Yeah, and as they do a lot of noise, people are able to spot them very easily. And I don't know about the Latin teams, but they don't use it as much. But we know that Brazilian teams, they really are able to just explode the cars very quickly and leaves the team that is inside the car just out in the open. So they usually don't like to play with that danger, so they just prefer to go on foot.
Well, SS Esports, perhaps one of the favourites, the Suicide Squad. Moving, making sure that they don't become a static target. That is really important, which is why you see these players at this level always on the move.
And it's interesting to see SS just waiting here because it's not an easy region to just leave, especially. And we can see that Cruzeiro was close, but they didn't want to go and fight against SS here. So they just back out a little bit, and now we are just waiting. We can see that Santos, Johnny, is very, very behind. They chose to not just look for the center of the safe right now, and let's see if they are able to gain a few survival points because of that.
Well, Santos we saw just outside the safe turn, that would start to shrink very short. There's the firepower. This is the advantage. You're up on top of the hill, but you've got to stick your head out, and if you've got sharpshooters down there, it could be very, very dangerous for you. Still 11 teams, still 41 players. Things will start to get a little bit more hairy out there for all these teams.
It's not going to be easy for Team Ace to just get out of there because they are right in the open. Safe is closing, and Team Liquid, only with 2 players, Johnny, is just doing some pressure on them.
Team Liquid trying to stay alive, trying to get the kills on the board. They've got 2 already, so that's points for them. They're in a great position here where they can rain down that firepower. But getting out of trouble can be problematic at times. So 2 against 4 at the moment.
Team AZ right now, they went back outside actually from the safe, and they did that so Team Liquid would not see them anymore, so they were able to just move and get out without losing another player.
A lot of rotation between these teams, of course, they're on the move. Cruzeiro like to be compact at times, but they can get stretched. And this is where Cruzeiro are so deadly. They just wait and watch, and they come in for the kill very quickly. That is the way they operate, or that's the way they operated last week in the play-ins, and it was very, very effective for them.
Yeah, and even though they are showing and showed last week a very strategic beginning of games, then later they were very aggressive. They were 8 kills ahead of the second team in the play-ins that got most kills. And they were more than 40 points ahead of the second place. So Cruzeiro got here with a lot of tranquility, I would say. They were even able to play the last game last week, just trying to fight for a place to fall in Kalahari, especially. And now they know that the first games are very important, so they are back on that strategy gameplay.
Well, this is Flamengo. As we switch to Team Liquid again, they've still got that high ground. Everybody knows where they are, though, and they might have to change the position. They might have to rotate to a better place.
A slow game so far, right, Johnny?
This is exactly what we expected. It's the first game. Nobody wants to go out too early if they can avoid that, which is why we've still got 11 sides here. Pain Gaming there with 3 kills on the board for them and looking positive and aggressive. Haven't seen many glue walls come up so far. There's one. Not impregnable nowadays. There are bits of kit which can fire straight through those kind of walls, but they're handy if you're in open position. We've got another kill, down to 39 players who are alive now. Pain Kill looking promising here with 4 kills on the board and wanting to add to that total very quickly. 38 players, but still 11 teams. We've got a number of animals out there, pretty dangerous for them as well, running around in this battleground as Pain Kill, or Pain Gaming rather, move up to 11 kills, and we see another team is heading back to the lobby.
Yeah, Team AZ is not going to play this Bermuda anymore. They are going to wait for the next game. And now Flamengo is going to pressure Pain Gaming that has to get out of there as soon as possible, Johnny.
Well, Pain Gaming were looking very good. We've got another kill on the board here as Flamengo get their first kill. Dead God with the first kill then for one of the sides from Brazil. Getting that high ground again is good to rain down those kills. We've got another one for Flamengo. 2 quick kills for them. Can leave you exposed because you've got to stick your head over the top, and if there's sharpshooters out there, you could be in trouble. Still 10 teams, 31 players, so the number's dropping from 48 very, very quickly, but we've still got those 10 teams out there.
Yeah, Vivo Keyd right now is trying to just finish Savage Esports, but is having a hard time because of the place they are fighting right now, Johnny.
It's all about getting the right position when you take on your opponents. Also, you don't want to be sandwiched, which is what's happening here because we're down to 9-10, and Vivo Keyd, they have crashed out. They're in the lobby. They have been eliminated, so the teams now falling quicker. We've got another side which has gone down. 8 teams, 25 players alive from the 48, so body count is rising here very, very quickly.
3 teams from Latin America are not playing anymore, and 1 Brazilian team. Ignis is the last hope for Latin America.
Team Liquid. And now we switch to Ignis. 1 kill on the board.
And I said before, right, Johnny, that this is a place that was, I thought it was very interesting to see SS being here after we started the game, and now we know why. The save is here, so getting here first was very important for them.
I think studying your opponents, trying to anticipate what they might do. As Santos, they've been quiet so far, but that's going to change right now. The firefight's about to go full on here, but there's not a lot of space to hide and maneuver, and you can actually fall off and you can actually kill yourself in a way. If you don't have that kind of position, if you drop from a ledge like that, you are a goner. 5 teams were down 2. This is where it gets really, really, really exciting on this Bermuda map, and it's going to come to a quick end, but 5 teams still out there. It took a long time to get going this battle, but now the team's getting ever closer. Who, though, is going to come out on top in this first battle royale? We're going to find out very shortly because the teams are getting very close. SS Sports, 4 kills on the board for them so far. That's going to change quickly. 14 players alive, 5 teams out there still. And she's the as Cruzeiro are in trouble here, big time. Cruzeiro then taking a knock. Anna, she's the your money would be where right now with these 4 teams?
Right now, SS or Flamengo has the best positioning, but they still have to be aware. Santos and Ignis right down there.
This is Santos cracking up the kills here quickly. 2 in the bag for them very quickly. We're down to 3 sides now. Who's going to take it? And the firefights go on here quick and fast. You've got to use that cover. You've got to get those bodies in position. Get that firepower down. Only 9 players left with 3 teams for our first battle royale. Who will take the booyah? Points are important though. 2 teams left. Got a new kill leader, SS Sports, who were firm favourites early on. Are they going to take this first one? We shall see. 2 teams left, only 5 players. This is right moment now. Santos looking good, and we're going to have first. Booyah! And SS have taken the first battle here.
They did a great reading throughout the whole game. They were able to survive and to get the best spot at the end of the game, which was crucial for them to get this win. It was not easy, and Santos played very well because they managed to just kill the entire team from Ignis and then wait for Flamengo to fall to get the 2nd place. It was a great way to start today's FFCS, Johnny.
SS Esports then, the team who have set the pace here very, very early on. We said they could be one of the favourites, and they did not disappoint.
And in the beginning of the year, we can see that Arctic Gaming had a very hard time. They didn't get a first loot very calmly as probably they would expect it. So they just gave up on that, waited for everything to happen in a very good spot, but didn't expect to see Pain Gaming so fast and to be so aggressive, to just go against them in a way that we wouldn't expect normally. But the Brazilian teams are very confident today, Johnny. Now we can see all the best times from these games that we saw. It was very calm in the beginning. After we had Arctic Gaming go back to the lobby, we waited a lot to see the next fight. Red Canids almost had a fight with Cruzeiro, but were able to just wait until the end of the game when it's the most important time to get those kills and to fight for a spot. And here, SS were able to manage that very easily because they were there a lot of time, you know. So now we can see that Santos just killed Ignis and then waited for SS to go against Flamengo and got the 2nd place. And a Brazilian top three, Johnny.
No surprises really, because we've got 8 teams from Brazil, so numerically more of an advantage for the Brazilians. 3 teams from Mexico, 1 from Chile, We're going to see the league table in a minute, but we're just looking at the best moments from our first battle. SS Esports then taking the crown. They're going to be the early front runners. Oh, we think they've got their booyah. Did they get all the points to go with it? 4 kills.
Yeah, let's see if they were the ones that had a lot of kills as well as the booyah to get a lot of points. And if they did that, it's going to be a great start for them in today's matches.
Same table in just a few seconds, maybe a couple of minutes, but our first battle has been finished. Anna, any surprises there?
I would say no, not really, Johnny, because we expect Brazilians to be very aggressive. They show that. And as you said, 8 teams. So numerically, we expect Brazilians to get the top. And we know that it's harder for the Latin teams because if you think about it, the Brazilian teams had played against each other for a long time, and the Latin America ones had to adapt to 8 other teams. So it is going to be harder for them to just start to put their gameplay really to work inside the maps. So I think we expected a stronger beginning from the Brazilian teams, but now when we go through the second game and all the way to 6th, it's going to be very different, I expect.
So Bermuda is over. We've got 2 more different maps coming up, and then we will switch the servers. So we get a nice balance here, because we're talking about South America, Latin America. If you've never been here, it is a big, huge continent. There's a lot of travel between these different cities, between these 2 countries. So to make things a little more even, we'll switch the server. So the ping value is a little more constant, and then we'll do that halfway through. But we've had our first battle on SS Esports, perhaps as predicted ahead, but we're waiting to see the first league table.
They are the champions from Brazil. So SS Esports is a team that we have to look for. They are very strong, very aggressive, as we said before. And they have that passion about representing their countries. And now we can know for sure that they were the teams that had the most points with 10 kills total.
That is a very impressive start for SS Esports. 40 points in the bag, 10 kills. You've got points, of course, at the end for where you finish in the table. And Santos then 13 points behind already, followed by Flamengo. So you've got teams from Brazil leading the way in the top 5. Team A's went out first. No kills for them because, as we said, they crashed out. They're in the lobby very early on. Still a long way to go in this competition, but SS Esports have thrown down the gauntlet. It could make them the targets in the next battles.
Yeah, people are going to look for those teams that are maybe weaker. So because it's 2 points per kill, so it's very important to try to know who you are going against with, so you know if you are able to go aggressive or defensive, right?
And also, if you're Santos or one of the sides just behind Cruzeiro, you want to take on, or you might want to take on Cruzeiro, of course. You want the points. You can see already the 13 points difference. Now that might not seem a lot, but if Cruzeiro don't pick up points, if Santos don't pick up points, and SS Esports just launch away, they could have this one in the bag very quickly. So teams might be looking for SS Esports. However, they'll do that at their risk.
Yeah, if they go against very early and lose, it's a very bad. They go back to the lobby very quickly, and they are not going to get any points. And as we have only 6 games, every single mistake can be the difference between going on the top or just staying on the very end of the standings.
It's getting that balance right, isn't it, really? You need to be aggressive. You can't be too aggressive against the wrong teams. You don't want to come up against SS Esports too early. However, you might want to take them out of the show early on so that your team can pick up points. And you can't leave it too long, because when we get to the 3rd game, we will have a pretty good idea of where this championship is going to end up?
Yeah, I wouldn't worry that much right now because SS.
Well, that's you. You're cool,
Yeah,
collected.
yeah.
They're the ones
I'm
under
very,
pressure.
I'm very calm right here. A little nervous actually to be speaking English the whole
You're doing
time.
a fantastic job.
But okay, but of course they have a lot of pressure on them, a lot more than I do, and I know that. But SS Esports is from Brazil, the team, the top one team in Bermuda. So maybe now that we are going to another territory is the time for other teams to try to get some points and just short the difference that we have right now in the standings. We are going to purgatory, right, Johnny?
Purgatory.
Purgatory or purgatory.
Or purgatory, it's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Different tactics, perhaps. Different map, of course. Different way of looking at things. Bermuda, the traditional map, the first map, of course, things change as we progress through the maps.
And I know there are a lot of people watching that really want, if you really want to see some big fights and a lot of things happen, they are waiting for Kalahari because it is the newest map in the game right now, and everybody is still trying to adapt because it's so different from the other ones. But Purgatory is people like this map even more than Bermuda sometimes. So I'm very excited to just wait and see who is going to get the Booyah this time.
The map order then, Bermuda, Purgatory, and then Kalahari. That's the same thing for the second section of the championships as well. And as you said, Kalahari, the newest addition to the Free Fire series, and the one where these teams know it, but it's still one of those things where there's a bit of a mystery about it. They don't really know how to... well, they do know they have ideas, but it's not the same as the first two maps. But we're looking ahead. We've got Purgatory to come next. Bermuda we've seen so far. SS Esports, they are the pace setters.
In Purgatory, we for sure are going to see a fight in Brasilia, a place that Brazilians know very well, and probably like 4 teams really want to get that place as their start on this map. So this is the place. I was expecting Mil to be the place where we would see our first fight in the beginning of Bermuda. I was wrong. Mil was actually the place where we saw a lot of fights, but at the end of the game. But here in Purgatory, I'm waiting to see a lot of action in Brasilia.
Brasilia, the capital city of Brazil, just in case you didn't know, but I think there are no similarities between the map version and the real version. At least I'd like to think so.
Yeah, the only thing that maybe we can say that is a little bit similar, but not that much, is that we have a lot of houses in Brasilia, inside Purgatory. So it's a place that people, at the end of the game, especially if the safe closes there, people can really look for, everybody can have a house. You know, you can get a rent contract for every single team. So if we saw a calm game in Bermuda, if the safe closes in Brasilia, here on the second game, we will probably see a calm game as well.
All to come very, very shortly. We've just had one game so far in this final. Remember, $80,000 for the winner, and then the 300,000 divided between the other teams as well. That's a lot of cash involved, a lot of pressure on what are some very, very young players who have been training for this.
Yeah, they had 2 weeks just to practice, and some of them only got 1 week, and now we have the game, Johnny.
Well, here we go then, Battle Royale number 2. We're off, we've been to Bermuda, which is not a bad place to be actually. Now Purgatory, probably not recommended for anybody.
yeah, I think we don't want to go there just in Free Fire, because Purgatory in Free Fire is very fun. People really like it, and I can see now, Johnny, that maybe we are not going to have the action that I was expecting in Brasilia, especially because Santos, at least in this first Purgatory that we are seeing today, they chose to not go and try to fight with Vivo Keyd in Brasilia. They are just going to spread out and try to loot fields first.
Getting the loot, getting position, all important early on. Most teams want to avoid. We saw a few teams, they saw each other, they did a runner because they didn't want to lose players. So sometimes that is a good tactic, not to engage the opposition too early on.
And we had some changes on teams' lineup, so we can see that that God is not playing for Flamengo in Purgatory. Now we see Kaweloki again here. Is a change that I believe we didn't see that often in LBFF, but we know the quality for these two players. So Flamengo, now that they have all the 5 players in their gaming house, they know that they can swipe it up and change the lineup and still manage to keep the high level.
Early doors then here, teams looking for position, looking for loot, of course. Eyes really will be on SS Esports and what they get up to. They are the team to catch right now. And maybe they could be the target team, but you don't want to engage Team Esports, because if you do, you might come a bit of a cropper. You might end up crashing out and heading back to the lobby early on, which nobody wants to do. As we get our first firefight and maybe our first kill here shortly. And we've got it already. Team Liquid off the board. First blood goes to them.
We were talking about SS being the target, but here Team Liquid saw an opportunity and turned Haitian on target. So they went and just looked for the kill. He was all by himself, so it was kind of easy to just get those 2 points.
Well, this is the problem, isn't it? Sometimes you get teams who like to spread out, which is good because you can bring in fire from different directions. On the other hand, like you just saw there, if you've got a player who's isolated, who is not being covered by his or her teammates, then they could be in trouble. You've got players who are bait as well, who run out to try to be the target. Of course, they might take some damage, but they want to be covered, and the idea is that the rest of the teammates coming and bam, they get the opposition.
Yeah, sometimes they even die, but sometimes it's worth it if they are able to just kill everybody from the enemy team. And we are always hoping that this is going to be a strategy, but in the beginning of the game like that, it was hard to really believe. It was just like spreading to get the loot faster, which is very important as well, because you get the loot and then you just look for the center of the safe. But apparently Ignis is going to play now with one last player.
And as you said, getting loot is really, really important, but it is when you're at the most vulnerable as well, because you've got very clever players who know where the loot is. They will wait, and they will wait for the opposition to come, and when they grab the loot, bam, you've gone.
Yeah, they have to know every single region in the map, especially the ones that you fall first. And of course, as we saw, Team Liquid and Ignis very close to each other. Both teams really know that region, and Team Liquid was able to capitalize with that and just get the first kill. But right now, we are seeing that calm game that we expected, Johnny. Pain Gaming is already in Brasilia. We saw Santos just looking for a home, a place to call home there as well. So maybe that is going to be the place where the safe is going to close.
The voice of expert and super duper presenter Anna Sheesdy. My name's Johnny Cougar. What is the attraction of Brasilia? Why is everybody heading, or some of the teams heading there?
It's very well located. Right? Because if you fall there especially, you are not going to have to move that much and just wait for everybody to move towards you. So you are able to wait and use your sight all around the houses to get some kills. And that's why teams usually here in Purgatory try to just loot very fast and go to Brasilia if they see that the safe is going to close there, because they know the safes very well. They studied that, and they also have the radio, that they are able to see the next safe and the next one, and they see that and they just go looking for the center.
I saw A's there in an exposed position. They weren't spotted, they weren't picked up, but when you're moving across open ground like that, you have to do it very, very quickly, because cover here is the name of the game. Water as well, also very, very difficult to cross at speed, which is what it's all about in this free fire match.
Yeah, and what we saw there was Moat House. That is a region that has a lot of water, but usually people don't really go there to fight. They just get the loot and get out of there as soon as possible. What we really have to deal when we are talking about water is the water that is between the continent and the islands, and sometimes the safe closes there and everybody has to just choose and try to guess where the safe is going to close to know if they have to cross the river or not.
Oh, so Team Liquid taking to a bit of transport, a few colour changes for them as well. As we said, great to get you around the map, but that sound you heard alerts the opposition to exactly where you are, and you do become a bit of a moving target, so you can't hang around.
You have to get to the place that you want to be as fast as possible, because the teams are able to explode the cars very quickly, and in that situation you are going to be in the wide open, and nobody wants that. Team Liquid was going to move. I think they saw Ignis very close to them, but they choose to not fight, and they are heading towards someplace else.
Well, the game is all about kills, but it's also about strategy, of course. A lot of teams are avoiding direct firefights until they get into a better position for them.
In Ignis Esports, if they got to another fight with Team Liquid, would be the same team that killed their first player. And now we can see Savage is trying to explode Team Liquid's car, but Team Liquid was already close enough to a cover to just wait and now try to fight against them.
A little bit dangerous there from Team Liquid, because they were exposed, and you saw Savage Sports, they were lurking, they've got the cover of the buildings. So Team Liquid now trying to get themselves into a better position, because there's very little cover unless you want to get behind one of these big boulders before you release the firepower. Still just one player has bitten the dust so far. As with all the maps, those numbers are going to change very, very quickly. Team Liquid, the only team with a kill so far.
And they got the second one right now, and they are going to pressure Savage, and it looks like they are trying to just run away.
Well, Savage were in a great position, but Team Liquid have outmaneuvered them. And as you said, Savage doing a bit of a runner, trying to avoid the direct confrontation, but for this map you've got a lot of water out there, as you can see, and that can hamper your rotations where you want to go to. So you have to know this map, you have to know that you're not going to run into trouble, and you've got to know that you don't have the water at your back, because you can't escape.
Team Liquid really likes those houses, so maybe they're just going to stay there, but I don't know, because it looks like everybody is heading towards Brasilia, so maybe they just need to cross faster, or they will have problems later. Cruzeiro is just waiting, and they know that they are out of the safe right now, but they are probably expecting other teams to pass through here and maybe get some kills out of them.
Again, this is so Cruzeiro just lurking on the edge of the safe zone. It's good because you can wait for teams, which is what they're doing, and as you see here, you might have a side closing in. They'll be aware of Cruzeiro's position though, but on the other hand, you're outside the safe zone. At some point you have to make a move, and it might not be when you want to make that move.
It's hard to just to figure it out all at once when you need to move to where are the other teams. Everything you have to think quickly on your feet and just get through it. And we know those 12 teams studied a lot. That's why they are here. FFCS Americas, representing their region, their countries, and we are just watching some great gameplay.
Anna, it's tactical, as we've said so many times. Who is controlling each team? Who is the mastermind behind each team?
It's basically the captain, right? We have one captain on each team. Sometimes we have one for movementation and the other one for like the fights. And teams just adapt in the best way possible because communication in Free Fire is a very, very important. So you have to have the active voice that is going to say something and everybody is going to understand and put in action.
A lot of pressure then on the captain of the teams, and then he or she of course has the responsibility for glory or death. So much going on, so many things to think about. And just to remind you, if you by some miracle, if you're tuning in for the first time to Free Fire, that mostly very, very young players in this match, but it's such a popular game, especially in South America and Asia as well. Such a massive game, and as we said, esports winner, most popular mobile match. So there's a lot going on, a lot to offer, but you really have to be on the ball. You have to know your kit, you have to know the strategies, you need to know what you're doing, you need to know where your teammates are, you need to know the opposition is. Too much for me. Too much for me, I can't handle it.
And you have to be good at the game, basically, and being able to headshot quickly and just eliminate the other team very fast to get the best positioning. And right now Team Liquid again is just facing another team. We are seeing Team Liquid always find someone else when they are moving around the map.
And this is a little bit slower, in fact, than Bermuda, because we had early kills, but things now will start to heart up here because we've only got 2 players down so far, but that's about to change. We've got a real firefight going on inside this building here, and the body count will start to rise. It has already 2 quick kills. Well, who, though, is going to survive? Because this is very compact areas. As you can see, Team Liquid down to 4 kills for them, and Savage Esports crash out. First team to go into the lobby. It's taken some time, hasn't it?
Yes, but Team Liquid has to look for other teams that maybe know that they were fighting and are going to try to lurk on that situation. Right now, Vivo Keyd and Pay Gaming are facing each other, Johnny.
Head-to-head firefight. Body count is starting to climb up here. We're down to 41 players, still 11 teams though. And this is where things start to get a little more interesting in our second battle royale, because the body count now is suddenly rising very, very quickly. We're down to 35 players, and we've got Vivo Keyd heading back to the lobby. So our second team has been eliminated.
What a great ice wall. Was able to protect him and even explode the one that was trying to shoot him. So it was very well placed. It worked very well. And now safe is too small for all those teams, Johnny.
Now more teams are starting to crash out here very, very, very quickly. It's been so quiet. We just said that just moments ago, and suddenly, bam, 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 the firefights have started here. The body counts have risen very quickly. We're down to 25 players, 7 teams, and Santos from nowhere have got 5 body bags. As you said, using those walls is effective. You've got to know how to use them. You've got to know how to protect yourself, because you can fire through them with the right weapon, but used very, very effectively, they can be great for this match.
Yeah, especially because we can see that there are not enough places to stay. So the teams need to use those resources to just protect themselves. We can see the head Canids Kalunga is trying to use the levels on the territory to just protect themselves. And Santos is rushing.
Santos with some great sharp shooting there. Some precision and firepower from the Santos side. 5 kills in the bag for them. down to 3 players, but looking ominous as the teams get even closer to each other. Flamengo only 2 in the bag so far, but able to rain that fire down. It's that technique, because another kill is mounted up here. It's that technique, isn't it? Jumping over, firing and getting down, but the timing has to be spot on. That is difficult to do. But Santos!
Well. Santos was aggressive, as we said before we started that fight, but now they are back on the lobby and 5 teams remaining.
And this is Flamengo, suddenly low kill for them, suddenly up to 7, raining in the firepower, looking very good. They've timed this run here to perfection. They've got themselves in good positions. 5 teams, 13 players. It's going to come to a head here very, very quickly. And our second battle, because Flamengo suddenly with those kills, up to 8 for them. They've been quiet. That's been effective for Flamengo, and still they're in a good position to rain down some firepower.
Team Liquid in head Canids with only 1 player trying to survive right now, Johnny.
Still going to get points. Red Kalunga then crashing out. Another Brazilian team bites it. That's Team Liquid also going. We're down to 3 sides here. Who's going to take this next booyah? Who's going to get the kills? They are mounting up quickly. Use of grenades, crucial at this stage. You've got to make use of them though. The teams here very, very close. All going for it. They all want those 20 points in the bag. Who's going to get it? No, Flamengo now on to 10. That kill has gone up very quickly. We're down to 2 teams. Who will take this booyah? We've got triple kills coming in. Of course, the leaders early on from the first round now, looking like they're on the back foot here. This could be trouble. 2 teams left. Who's going to take it? 6 players left. SS Esports won the first one. Can they take the second? They're going to get high points, but will they get the second one? We shall see shortly. Flamengo looking promising here. And we've got our second winner. Our second booyah. And it's gone to SS Esports. They took it in the first one. They've done it again. It looked like, just for a moment, it could have been Flamengo, but SS Esports, second crown and looking red hot.
Yeah, 2 games, 2 wins. SS is coming very strong today. They are able to just get a lot of points in the beginning. That is going to really help when we go to the end of the day, where the teams usually start to go more aggressive to get those points that they need to get to the top.
Looking very good for them. 2 maps then, Bermuda and Purgatory. They've gone already. So that's 2 down. We've got 6 to go. A lot of points in the bag, as we shall see very, very shortly as well. But SS Esports looking strong as we look at the best moments then of the Purgatory map. Again, it started a little quieter than we thought it would do. And there were teams in it, 12 teams for quite a while. Then suddenly, firefights aplenty. Teams went for the kill. And
it was
body count just went up.
Yeah, it was even a slower game than Bermuda, and it was very calm in the beginning, and then, as you said, Johnny, everything started to blow up and people just were dying, and we can see, and we love to see a great gameplay like this. Team Liquid really went for those early eliminations. They were the first team to just swipe another one, and I hope that they got a lot of, not hope, but I know that they got a lot of points from that, and they were able to survive a lot with only 1 player. So that's going to be good. They were not able to get 3rd or 2nd place, but I think it was 4th, and it's going to be good because, as we said before, kills are very important because they are 10% of the first of booyah points, and if we're able to survive at least through all the way to 6 teams remaining, you are going to be very consistent throughout the day.
Our second game then of the day, as we look at the highlights. The best moments from that one, SS Esports will be the team to catch. We'll see the table after these best moments.
Again, right now we can see that we had two Latin teams surviving a lot, and Team A's was able to get third place. They played very well. Both Arctic Gaming and Team A's, they were very strategic on this game, this map. They avoid fights in the beginning and got to the end very safely. I don't know if they got a lot of points because I didn't see them getting a lot of kills, but it's going to be good for the region. Anyways, and SES very happy right now. And we have to remember, Johnny, that everything is on stake because only one team gets the crown.
Only one team gets a crown, as you said, but SS Esports, they are the team to catch. They're going to be at the top of the table. They were the top team from Bermuda. They're going to be the top team from Purgatory as well. They will be massing up the points. They're the team to catch. Makes them a targets for Kalahari, which is coming up shortly as well. But also, best team so far. They left it very late against Flamengo. I thought Flamengo were going to take it right at the very end, but SS Esports nipped in and got those kills. They are the team to catch. Maybe now they are the targets because the teams below them know they have to stop SS Esports. The question is, how can they do it?
And that's how we know how equal it is, the levels, because we didn't really know who was going to take the Booyah this time. Flamengo could do it as well as SS Esports. And Flamengo, as I said before, in play-ins, they went very well, but they didn't get a Booyah. And that's maybe what is lacking right now. If they get a Booyah, maybe their confidence is going to increase even more, and maybe they are going to fight for top one. But right now, I think third or second, they are able to get in the standings.
Finishing in the top half, we're certainly not dying too early. We'll give you those points. It's the kills as well. The Booyahs, as we've said on many occasions, it's important, it's good for your status. It's a great feeling to get it. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to take the crown here today.
Yeah, because you have to get points, and not every time the team that gets the Booyah is the team that gets more kills. So they are not necessarily the team that gets the most points in one game. And another thing that is very important is consistency. If you get a little bit of points every single game, maybe you are able to get to the top, even though you don't get it in Booyah.
That's it. Getting it right, picking up points, finishing in the top half, not dying too early as well, all key. So a lot of things to consider. The Booyah, where you finish, how many kills you get, all those things can help. But SS Esports, they're looking so dangerous, they're looking so confident. They must be feeling like we've got this in the bag, even though there are 4 more games to come.
Yeah, and we were talking about the Booyah, that is important, but not as important as other things, actually. And we can see that with Arctic Gaming, for example. They got only 1 Booyah throughout their whole regular season, and still managed to, in the finals, get second place and almost win in the region. And this can happen again today. Let's see.
These are the standings then. No surprise that SS Esports, they doubled their tally from the first game, and there's a massive gap already. Look at that gap between SS Esports and the second place Flamengo. SS Esports, they are the ones to catch. The Suicide Squad then living up to all expectations. 4 more matches to come. Teams below them really have to push, and I just wonder how it's going to change here tactically for some of these sides below them, because they're going to have to really do something here to catch and beat SS Esports, and they have to send them out very early in Kalahari.
And usually we look at the top of the standings, but we can also look at the other part, the end of the standings, where we have Savage and Vivo Keyd right now. And Vivo Keyd, as I said before, is a team that their coach is always the second place. And right now they want or to be in the top, in the very top, first place, or just make it all happen and maybe be in the end of this tennis.
More action coming up shortly, so stay with us.
Let's let's go. Toda Latinoamérica cabeceando el sonido, qué chido, en mi región el bando bien metido. No existe competencia, ganamos los partidos, venimos bien tendidos y no somos los bandidos.
Bau, bau, hermanos, tchau. A WB Gusta é top global.
Bye bye, o Brasil é demais. Pega o aberto que eu mostro como faz.
Kata budi bermuda, purgatori kalah hari. Semangat 45 gak takut kalah takkan lari. Mari kemari hadapi lagi, we gon' be on top. Talent drop, sampai sini langsung stop.
เชียร์แชมป์แล้วไงทำไมต้องแชมป์อ่ะพูดอย่างนี้ตอนดูซีรีส์ได้ที่เท่าไหร่อ่ะก็เทเป็นดาราแชมป์ออลสตาร์เรายกอาชีพผู้เล่นจนต้องร้องเฮ้ย
और आखिरी से मतलब नहीं हमसे तो डर मत प्लान किया शूट करे लेके फुर्सत वी आर चैलेंजर्स हम देंगे फुल टक्कर माने भेजा हमको खिला के दही शक्कर
Let's go battle, let's go battle. Who's the winner? Who's the winner? Let's go battle, let's go battle. Let's go battle, go fight.
Việt Nam làm chủ xuống sân khách trên sân nhà, chỉ có đội Đài Loan như cách họ chạy mấy con gà. Tránh đường, Việt Nam đi ngang qua, nhiệt huyết anh nắm là mày đóng băng rồi tan ra.
开头要小心子弹不长眼睛，不管你跳哪里被屠杀是唯一结局。劝你们先关机，录机禁止通行，别让爸爸担心，提早回家休息。
В прошлом BS были темной лошадкой, регион взбудоражил всех до упадка. Тише, в этот раз, обещаю, будет гладко, а победа вдвойне сладкой.
أصل السودة ركبناهم عديناهم من زمان. نمبر 1 بالترتيب ركز وتابع يا مان. نمبر 1 بالهروب الاختباء أكيد انتو حتى الفايت عندكم زيرو بالصدفة علينا فيستو.
To all the countries we wish you the best. We fight with honor cause we train with zest. History will teach you we brought down empires.
Bigger egos have been laid to rest.
Let's go battle, let's go battle. Who's the winner? Who's the winner? Let's go battle, let's go battle. Let's go battle, go fight. We fight for it, we fight for it. Hey, hey, hey. Who's the winner? Who's the winner?
Welcome back then for our third battle royale in the finals of this Free Fire Continental Series. SS Esports, the team to beat.
Yeah, they got 2 booyahs in only 2 games, so they have 100% of a win rate right now, so they are the teams to beat. But we have to look for Flamengo. They got to the top 3, I believe, on both games as well. Santos is looking good, but Johnny, I'm waiting for some teams to surprise us, as they did on their finals. We saw that Ignis, Arctic, and Team Ace were teams that didn't get the same amount of points on each game as they did in their finals, and that happened in Brazil as well, especially with Vivo Keyd, Team Liquid, and Pain Gaming. They were all a surprise, and I'm waiting to see that now that we are going head to Kalahari.
Yep. Kalahari, game number 3 coming up. SS Esports, the team to beat, the team to fear if you're the other sides. However, if I were the sides below, Anna, I would be looking to try to take out SS Esports. Not easy, could be a dicey strategy, but you've got to do it because they are miles ahead of the other teams below them. So it's time for action, time to take SS Esports out if you can. Will anybody be brave enough to do it?
Every single Brazilian watching is waiting for Kalahari because we know that Latin America struggles a little bit with snipers, and Kalahari is the place to use them.
Well, Kalahari then, the newest map and one of the most interesting maps in this Free Fire series. Maybe some surprises could be in store for the teams, but we know what it's like now. We know who are the leaders. We know SS Esports are the teams to catch. They have been absolutely fantastic so far. Flamengo came close in Purgatory, came up second best in the end. This map could be key. It's our third battle royale. There's 6 in total. SS Esports, so a team to watch out for. The team for the teams below them to stop, and stop them early. Has anybody got the courage to do it?
Right now we need to see who has got the courage to go towards the other team, because Pain Gaming and Team Ace are just facing each other, and we feel the tension in the air, Juni.
We certainly do. There's a lot at stake. We talked about the money here as well for the winners. $80,000 for the winning side. $300,000 to be divided between the finalists, which is not bad. But 80,000, I'm sure SS Esports are thinking, what I'm going to buy with that money. There's still 4 more games to come, so they can't get too complacent. We've seen teams before, they crash out. I'm a little disappointed with Cruzeiro. I thought they'd be a better showing. Tactically superb last weekend. Not so great though so far in this one.
And that's why it's important to work for the coach as well, right, Johnny? Because if the players start to feel too confident, things can start to go south.
They can do. Anna D and Johnny Cougar with the comms for this Free Fire Continental Series 2020 Latin America Finals. Game number 3. We're in Kalahari, the map where these teams will know about, but maybe tactically haven't got it quite right. And it could be a lot of surprises in this match. We've had 2 slow starts. Purgatory was slower than even Bermuda, which we were a little surprised about. Getting the height. We've talked about it before. It's great because you can rain down the firepower, but you've got to stick your head over the top. And for the sharpshooters, that gives them the opportunity. Pain Gaming we're seeing early on. You can hide behind the giant cactus, or cacti if you want the plural. And use those glue walls as well to good effect.
It looks like Team Ace is going back to the lobby, Johnny. Pain Gaming is not going to give up on those kills. They are going to start the day with those points. But look, they are trying to just answer it with some bullets as well.
Oh, Pain Gaming then 2 kills on the board already for them. Aggressive start. 3 kills.
And now they are looking for the last one, but I think the last player from Team A's already managed to just walk out of there as soon as possible and is going to try to survive. Team A's is a team from Mexico, and they got top 4 in the last game, but now this task is going to be very harder.
A mountain for them to climb. Still, even though SS Esports are leading the points board, don't forget it's that prize money as well. So the higher you finish in the final table, the more dosh you're going to have to spend. So that's what's in the back of the minds of these young players, these talented players from Latin America, and some very, very good.
And as the players are so young, they are also very, very competitive. So they are here for the money and for the just to be able to say that they were in the top with the top 12 teams from Americas.
Well, I'm a little older. I'm also very competitive. I'm here, and I'm happy to say I'm here for Free Fire as well. Won't be getting a share of the prize money, which is so disappointing.
Yeah, can you imagine? We get some.
I'm thinking, I'm planning already.
Maybe you can become a pro player for Free Fire next season. Maybe we can see Johnny Kuga playing.
I'd say it's unlikely. My 12-year-old is a lot better than I am at this game. She's the expert. She's the killer. Unfortunately, I'm one of the people to crash out, to head to the lobby so very early. And I respect the talent, I respect the skills of these players because they have it all. So many things going on at the same time. Just too good for me, I'm afraid. Which is why I'm here behind the microphone.
Yeah, but we like to watch. As you said, Johnny, we are all very competitive. We like the tension and the high-level gameplay that we can see in these championships. And right now we can see the rotation for Head Canids. And they just want the center of the map.
Positioning, loot again. Talking about the tension, this is game number 3 of the finals. And we could be in from action here. A lot of tension, a lot of stress, a lot of pressure on these young players as Team A's head to the lobby. They're the first team to go out in game number 3. Battle number 3 here in Kalahari. Team A's already heading to the lobby.
They were trying to avoid everybody, but didn't manage to do that because they found Flamengo right at the south of the map. So what the player tried to do was just to move in circle, in a circle way, basically thinking that everybody that were there was going to be in the center of the safe right now. But Flamengo is just waiting and doing something that is different from what they did in the other maps.
This is the overhead view of Kalahari. See where the teams are positioned. It's obviously more compact in that central location, but you've got teams hovering well outside the safe zone, which is great because you've got no contact, but as the safe zone starts to shrink, you will have to move quickly, which might mean that you run into a lot of trouble.
Yes, and a lot of trouble can mean you going back to the lobby and not get those points that you really wanted to. And so that's going to be something that we have to look for, especially with Ignis and Flamengo movementation and choices in the game. Flamengo is getting closer to Pain Gaming that had that fall on the sub and didn't get out of there so far.
Bermuda, Purgatory, Kalahari is where we are now. Anna, for you, what's the most difficult map?
Kalahari. Yeah, it's the most different map of the 3, and it's very, very different. The way that you have to play Kalahari is very, very different than the way you can play Bermuda and Purgatory. So that's what we said before we started this game, that sniper is very important here.
It's a map, as you said, it's difficult. Is it a map players enjoy, or do they say, oh my god, it's Kalahari next, we're in trouble here?
That second option. Yeah. Usually players don't like Kalahari that much. They know that they have to change their gameplay a lot. So it's out of their comfort zone. And teams really like to stick to that.
Is it for the top players, the elite players, do they think, great, this is Kalahari, we love it? Or is it just harder for the kind of novices, the newbies, if you want to call them?
I think it's hard for everybody. We know that some teams can really can play well and shine in Kalahari, but it's just a few. Usually we see teams struggling a little bit more. A good example is Red, because when we started to see Kalahari in the competitive scene, Red, as they are a very strategic team, they like to know the movimentation from everybody else, and as nobody really knows how to move in Kalahari, it's easier to predict where they're going.
Firefights starting up here. We saw the use of the glue wall there to very good effect, because you're out in the open, you need cover. This is key in all of the maps. Don't get caught out in the open, especially if you're looting. And still 11 sides, 43 players, but the time is moving on. The clock is ticking down. That safe zone is going to start to shrink even further soon, as we're at the almost at the halfway point. Game number 3, Kalahari, the tricky map, the hard map. The elite players, even they struggle, as Anna Sheesdy said. But it could be a map which levels these sides, and maybe SC or SS Esports. They've won the last 2. They're going for the hat-trick in this competition. Even at their level, even their quality, it's rare for a team to win 3 different maps in a row.
Yeah.
They came close to losing in Purgatory against Flamengo, but this is a good thing about Kalahari, I think, because it gives the other teams, there's a bit more luck involved perhaps. It levels the sides down. We might get a surprise winner. We might get a table opening up a little bit more.
And now we will have Flamengo or SS maybe going back to the lobby as the second team to fall.
The firefights then coming thick and fast here, with still 42 players alive, 11 teams, but as you can see here, as the glue walls come up quickly, the teams are caught out here, perhaps not where they wanted to be, and Flamengo B4 have gone very, very early on. That is a real blow for the Brazilian side.
But SS didn't get all those kills. They just killed 2 of Flamengo's players. The other 2, Pain Gaming, just were able to steal it.
And players can't nip in to get those kills, but Flamengo were in second after the second battle royale, and they will crash out. This is what we're just talking about, this leveling effect of this kind of map. So not what Flamengo wanted, because they thought they might be in a chance of closing the gap on SS Esports. Not to be, I'm afraid, for them.
And Santos is using that exactly spot to just try to get those kills and finish Ignis, the champions from the Latin America region.
Well, Santos then, 4 quick kills on the board for them. As we switch to Team Liquid, mounting up their kill rate as well. Now on to 4. We've got 10 teams still alive. Big surprise that Flamengo have headed back to the lobby. Team Liquid trying to apply the firepower. They're very coordinated. They've got that group firepower. And Santos now on to 5. 29 players, 28 players now remaining. And this is the advantage. You've got that height, so you can rain down the firepower from different angles. And if you're down there, you're under some real pressure and in real trouble.
Vivo Keyd and Santos are 2 teams that really like the same spots in the maps. So it's interesting to see them going against each other right now, Johnny.
And when you've got 2 sides who like the same areas in the maps, you're going to have some firefights, you're going to have some trouble as they vie for the crown here, the finals. Continental Series 2020 of Free Fire are approaching the halfway mark. This is the 3rd map, Kalahari. We'll switch to Bermuda, Purgatory, and then Kalahari again for the second half of this final day. And more teams crashing out, heading back to the lobby. We're down to 7 already. 19 players alive, only 19 players. 7 sides out there. Santos now suddenly looking like they've got a hot streak going on. Down to 6 already.
Yeah, you said people needed to target SS, and Santos is trying to do that and go against Savage as well.
Well, that's good, positive stuff for Santos, but Ignis Esports, they also head to the lobby. Santos then with 4 teams, more sides crash out. 4 teams, 11 players now. Savage under some pressure, 2 kills on the board for them. Needing some cover quickly though. Kills are mounting up. Pain Game, we've not seen much of them recently, but they've got 10 on the board. It's going to be a decent number for them. 3 sides, 11 players. Who is going to take it? SS Esports in the 3. Are we going to get a different winner? Pain Gamer with 10 kills, looking positive, in a good position as well. Down to 10 players, still 3 sides. Moving to the crucial moment in this match in Kalahari. Are we going to get a different winner? Is it going to be SS Esports again, because they've been so strong, especially at the end? Savage with only 4 kills on the board for them. Down to 7 players, 2 teams now. And down very, very quickly as we move towards the finale here. Game number 3, and the players are moving forward. They're going in for the kill, but who's going to take it? 12 kills on the board, triple kills, and we get another winner. Game number 3, and Pain will take it. A new winner and a booyah for them. Great stuff. They came late. Celebrations for them. They'll get those 20 points. And SS Esports perhaps have something finally to think about.
Yeah, they didn't get through the end of the game. I said before we started this match that I wondered where were the surprises. Pain Gaming, Team Liquid, and we saw them here. Team Liquid got the 3rd place, and Pain Gaming got the booyah. So it's very nice to see how Kalahari is able to showcase other teams and probably make everything change in the standings as well, Johnny.
Well, Kalahari, then, as we said, Kalahari, the leveler of these 3 maps.
Yeah, and now we see the highlights from this game, the 3rd game, and we saw SS and Flamengo go against each other right in the beginning. We saw some fights happen faster than we saw in the 1st and 2nd game, and SS, they did so well on that fight that they were able to almost kill all 4 players from Flamengo without losing anyone. They didn't get all those 4 kills because Pain Gaming was very well positioned and got 2 of those kills, getting 4 points very easily, and then getting to the end of the game, basically being very well positioned as they did in the beginning all the way to the end.
Kalahari then bringing those surprises we were talking about. Not everybody's favorite map. It's a tricky map. You really have to use all your skill at technique. There's a great lot of luck involved as well. But we've got a different winner on the board. How will that affect the overall standings, though? We're going to see in just a couple of minutes.
Yeah, in Team Liquid, they got 3rd place and they played very well. They were using the high places to their advantage. They stayed there. They used their view to just get some kills and get to the end of the game. Savage got a house and used that coverage to just avoid fights throughout the end of the game and getting 2nd place. So it was a very interesting map to watch, Johnny.
And as you said, not everybody's favourite map because it requires a lot of skills. People don't like surprises, even in Free Fire. And SS Esports got one in the end, but Pain Gaming came up winners, and we shall see how that affects the league table, the overall league table, in just a minute or so.
And we also have to remember that this means that we just ended the 1st half of the day. We only have 3 games ahead of us, and as we said before, every single mistake can be the difference between being on the top or at the end.
Bermuda,
At the
Potri,
bottom. Right.
Kalahari, the other sides, the other teams. Maybe perhaps you should have a championship when it's just Kalahari. All three bouts, perhaps all three battles Kalahari, because that would level the playing field. It would make life a lot difficult. SS Esports now have something to think about. They will stay top, certain about that. Flamengo, they went out quickly there, didn't they?
Yes, very, very quickly. They faced SS in the beginning of the game and were not able to just avoid the sandwich that you said earlier, because they were worrying more about SS, but Pen Gaming was also shooting them from behind. So we cannot say that it was an equal battle between two teams, because Pen Gaming was there to get some kills.
Good from Pain Gaming, because they saw Flamengo trying to take on esports. So Flamengo had the right idea. Positive. Unfortunate for them, Pain Gaming came, as you said, they got behind them to full advantage. They ended up taking the booyah as well. Maybe Pain Gaming could have also gone for SS Esports. They chose to focus on Flamengo. As we confirm the table, this is how it looks like. And that is interesting, isn't it? Because that gap at the top now suddenly looks a little bit more interesting.
In Team Liquid, we can see that they went up a lot, because they got third place, but 8 kills. And because of that 8 kills, they were the second team to get the most points in this last game. They didn't get more points than Pain Gaming, but it's good for them to get the second place.
This table now suddenly a lot more interesting, because I really thought SS Esports had this one in the bag. It's not going to be the case, is it? Because that gap now is catchable. There are still 3 more big contests to come on this final day.
And we can see that the booyahs for SS are very important for them to stay at the top right now, because they have 22 kills and Team Liquid only 4 kills behind. So if it wasn't for the booyahs from SS, maybe Team Liquid would get the first place right now.
More action to come very, very short. We've got 3 more big games all to play for. Before then, just a short break. The final day of the tournament. More action to come very shortly. 3 more big games. It got suddenly very, very tight at the top of the table. Looked like the first 2 bouts that SS Esports had it in the bag. They were the runaway winners. They were the team to beat. Suddenly Pain Gaming came and they took their booyah in Kalahari. But we've got teams right below SS Esports who are moving forward to the kill. 3 big games coming up, starting once more with Bermuda.
Yeah, and now we need to know that although SS Esports especially got really good at the beginning, and maybe if they are consistent now in the end, they can win, every single team is still has a shot at trying to get to the top. If we see like the example of Savage Esports, they got 4th place in their finals. That's why they are here. And 76% of their points in the finals they got in the last 3 maps. So the fact that SS Esports in the top right now doesn't mean anything. So even though we can see that Vivo Keyd struggled a little bit in the beginning, now everything can change.
We shall see. SS Esports them a team to catch, but the gap at the top has been narrowed. And there are 3 big battles to come, starting with Bermuda again. A map which these sides all know about, but maybe we'll go down to the wire when we go back to Kalahari for the 2nd time in our 6th and final game. But that's a long way to go between now and then. Bermuda, Purgatory, then Kalahari, so anything can happen. As you said, teams still in this one, we may get some surprise, because SS Esports now have to think, do we play conservatively? Do we want the points in the bag? If they do that, they might miss out on the kills. Just to confirm the schedule then where we are now at game 4. We're heading back to Bermuda, Purgatory, then Kalahari, the big final of the final.
Yeah, SS Esports got 2 booyahs right in the beginning on both first games, and then Pain Gaming surprised everyone and got the booyah in Kalahari. And now we are heading to Bermuda again. And one question that I want to wait for the game to get the answer is if the teams are going to be more aggressive now, because we are heading to the end of the day and they have to go for those points, and a way to get those is to get kills, so they have to be more aggressive. So will they go that way? Will they choose that strategy right now in the beginning of the 2nd half of the day, or will they wait to like Kalahari again?
Could be leaving it a little bit late. Just checking my table down here. So SSN the leading on 87 points. Team Liquid now coming, as you said, making a lot of kills to 74. So 13 points. Only 13 points difference between the top 2. Santos on 70. 17 points behind. Then Pain on 68. They're the top 4. And with the right battle, with the right points, any one of those 4 teams, even Flamengo on 65, they are the hot teams. I think they are the 5 teams now who are in the battle on this final day of this Free Fire finals from Latin America. All to play for in this competition.
And we are talking about probability, but if we see in the math of the whole game, every single one can still win. So that's the beauty of Free Fire, that we never know. Maybe the teams that started well have their confidence up, which is very important in when you are battling against 11 other teams. But sometimes you can get surprised.
I certainly was surprised. I certainly was surprised by Cruzeiro, bottom of the table. I'm shocked by that one. So Anna, we've seen 3 games. What have you seen so far which you were expecting, and what has surprised you of the matches we've seen so far?
I think to see SS in the top is expected. They are the winners for the LBFF, the Brazil Championship. So we can expect a good gameplay from them. And I didn't expect to see, I would say, Vivo Keyd on the end of the standings because we know how experienced their coach is. But at the same time, Johnny, we can also expect them to not go that well because their players are not that experienced. They are very new to the game. K9, their coach, just put that team together very quickly with some, people say, some leftovers, like some players that were not in other teams, and he was able to get the team together and to get to the second place in LBFF. So that's why I expect them to be in the top right now. But we can see that sometimes if they are feeling the pressure too much or risking too much, it's normal for them to be at the bottom right now.
Well, I'm certainly feeling the pressure, and I'm just sitting here behind the microphone. It's going to be so tough for those players in this competition, knowing that $300,000 is at stake, and as you said, $80,000 for the winning side, which is currently SS Esports. Top 5 sides then, all Brazilian, and we are going to go into our battle number 4 right now.
So we are back to Bermuda and we are starting the second half of the day. Now is the time. Now or never. Everybody has to get the best of every single second to get those points and to try to get to the top. And Vivo Keyd, the team that I was talking about, is trying to do that right now. Instead of going all the way to Villa, they started in Hangar and they are trying to just look for Savage and get some kills.
An early firefight already involving Flamengo, who are quickly off the board. They were eliminated so very, very early in battle number 3 in Kalahari. They want to avoid that. That knocked them down the table. It's going to be interesting how these sides respond, because we've got now 3 games in the bag, but teams have a good idea about the opposition. They know their own performance. They know how they want to improve. They have their own personal goals for this one. And tactically, I think we're going to see teams changing how they approach these next 3 games, because the top 5, it is all to play for. Any one of those teams could take the title here.
And knowing that the teams are going to change their strategy to try to go for the points that they didn't get in the first half of the day is a pressure on the teams that are in the top right now. Because as they know, it's going to be more dangerous for them in the whole territory. Team Ace right now is getting close to Cruzeiro, Johnny.
Generally, teams avoiding any direct confrontation, but it doesn't look like this way at the moment. Cruzeiro, who have failed to impress so far, wanting to bag some kills, bag some points, not go out early, climb up the league table. Remember, there's a lot of money at stake, and the further you finish up the table, the more cash in the bag at the end of this day.
And it's important to know that who changed their fall to be here is Team A's. They actually liked this place in their finals of their region, but during the practice this week, they changed it so they wouldn't face a Brazilian team right in the beginning. So for the second half, they are changing it up.
And that's what we expected, sides then having to change how they approach this match. Because we're into the final half. 3 games in the bag, 3 battles in the bag. And that was interesting. Players staying on their feet or shooting. Normally they get on the turf, they get down as low as possible. But this is aggressive stuff. Cruzeiro, we're seeing, still waiting to get their first kill in the bag, and maybe in danger of losing players if they're not careful here. 1 bag and 1 kill for Cruzeiro. 2 players down, 12 teams in it. You're watching game match 4 as the body count now starts to rise here, and Cruzeiro looking more like the old Cruzeiro as we get our first team who bite the dust. First team eliminated, heading back to the lobby. not a great start.
Cebolinha played very well for Cruzeiro right now. He was against two players. He's the main rush player in Cruzeiro, and he managed to kill two players all by himself. So it was very important for Cruzeiro. They sent the first team back to the lobby, and now we have another fight.
5 fights coming very, very early here, Miss Bermuda map, in game number 4 in the Fire Continental Series 2020. These are the finals of Latin America. All to play for, and a lot more aggression, a lot more action early on in the game match number 4 here in Bermuda. Flamengo came close to taking it in battle 2 in Purgatory. That's them in action at the moment. 1 kill on the board for them. FL4 with that kill.
Flamengo B4, the third game, was in second place, and they lost a lot of those points in the third game. So now getting that kill and maybe trying to rush against someone else is very important for them right now, Johnny.
Down to 43 players already very early on in Bermuda. Keep moving, keep down, keep low. That's what the top players continually do if they are to stay alive. Haven't seen much of SS Esports so far, or Pain Gaming. They're the ones to look out for. Santos, Team Liquid, Flamengo, top 5 as it stands.
Pain is close to Arctic Gaming. We can see on the minimap right now, but maybe Pain will not be as aggressive as they did on the first 3 games, because now they are on the top and they want to stay there, Johnny.
Saw on the overall map there, but these teams are aware of the positions of their opponents, of course. May not want to engage. Maybe waiting until someone takes a little nibble, a little bite of the opposition, then they come in for the kill. And we've seen that throughout these first 3 matches. Throughout these first 3 battles, where teams wait and watch and suddenly come in, get the kills and get the kill points to themselves.
What is very important to notice in this Bermuda is how the teams have to adapt to that change on some teams' strategy, because if a team is trying to just find another one in the beginning of the game and the other one is being found, they need to adapt and decide on their feet if they are going to try to fight that battle, or if they are going to try to disengage. And we can see that in the beginning of this game, we saw at least 3 fights happening, but only one did actually explode and sent a team back to the lobby.
Open ground and a possible target. Leo 7, Cebolinha, the chive, if you want the translation, little onion. Cruzeiro with 4 body bags already in this Bermuda battle.
Peak is a good place to be in Bermuda, especially if the safe closes here, because it's the highest place in the map. So Cruzeiro being there, they will probably have a good look at the other teams later in the game.
Flamengo wanting a better performance in this 4th Battle Royale. Currently in 5th on 65 points, 18 behind the leaders, SS Esports. So they can close that gap with a decent performance here in Bermuda.
And we can see that Dead God is playing again. We saw they change the lineup earlier, but now they switched back, and we can see that some teams are trying to adapt to each territory, or maybe just get someone that is out talking to the coach, and when they get in the game, they have another mindset to try to lift everybody up, especially their confidence, and then go for those points.
The Boss W was the front runner. It's very exposed on that bridge. And the overall shot. Again, you've got teams lurking on the outside of the map. Maybe, in fact, they will be forced to come in as that safe zone starts to shrink. You've got a bit of cover. Tree work there. But that is the situation in the overall map. And there's still plenty of spaces right now, but that's going to change very, very shortly in this Bermuda map. Battle number 4.
And let's see how teams are going to play that safe, because Bima is a negative place in the map. If we look at the territory as a whole, we have a peak right next to it that is the highest place. Cruzeiro is there, but it looks like the safe is not going to close to that place, Johnny. So they will have to try to get closer to Bima, but there are at least 4 teams there already.
Teams watching, waiting, ready to pounce, ready to kill. Because the game's gone a little bit quiet. We had that early flourish when 5 players went out.
Let's see, how are we going to see what happens in the end of the game, because we had a more explosive beginning, but right now we are at that place where we just talk and nothing really happens, Johnny.
Teams know how important this third match is, the fourth match rather, and nobody really wants to risk it. Nobody wants to go out too early. We've got 1 team out only. 5 players have already gone. But you can see, because the firefight starts here, SS Esports, the team still at the top of the table. The team still to beat. Maybe engaging perhaps when they didn't really want to. But it has been quiet, but as that safe zone will start to shrink, pushing the teams together, and then things begin to get a little bit more tough and tricky for all those sides, because you can see again players looking for cover, just waiting for that right moment, trying to get those glue walls up, because they don't want to be exposed like that moment there where teams can get caught out in the open and they don't want to be, and that spells trouble. Still 43 players alive.
And Pen Gaming, it knows that something is happening over there, so they are already waiting next to a bridge to wait for that to end, and then maybe get the kills for from the players that survive.
You can see down the scope of what's ahead. Make use of the cover when you can. Or the frying pan, if that's all you've got. We talked about players. If you're carrying a weapon, of course, you run a little bit slower. You might see the players all jumping, which gives them just that fraction of a little extra pace as they cross the open ground. And maybe here we might have a firefight. Flamengo have got some decent cover, but they're a little bit outspread. A pair of players, and Flamengo open up here. In danger, though, of losing one of their players if they're not careful. Back to full health. And they do lose one, in fact. Flamengo, they need to impress. They weren't so great in the last battle. They need to do something here just to keep them in touch. And they get a kill suddenly, up to 5. Very, very quick kills from Flamengo, who move with purpose, move with the firepower, and we've got another side in the lobby, down to 10, 38 players alive.
That God died, but he did a great thing for his team. Flamengo was able to just kill everybody from the enemy, and now they are going heads to the end of the game, probably with more confidence, but someone else has to get the lead for kills.
Saw how rapid and how savage this game can be when it's been so quiet. Then suddenly 4 or 5 kills for Flamengo in the matter of seconds. Nothing on the board for Pain Gaming, who took Kalahari. And Cruzeiro need something here quickly and have to move forward. Force movement for them, they didn't want it. Nothing on the board so far for Ignis. Have lost a player. We're down to 37 players now, 10 teams as the firefights start to get a little bit more rapid here. These 3 teams, you don't want to miss Sandwich Santos in a very tricky position there. And they will need to find some cover. They've got grenades being hurled at them, trying to use whatever space, whatever walls they can, but they're in a tricky position and they perhaps will have to get out of there as quickly as they can. 4 teams now involved, 5 teams in fact, all jostling here, and the body count is about to rise. We're down to 36 players already. Esports move in, quick. 3 kills for them. This is what they're like. This is why they're so deadly. They've waited for this one and have moved forward. And Cruzeiro picking up points and kills. But this is SS Esports, currently just 4 kills for them. Nothing on the board just moments ago, now 4 in the bag. Down to 9 teams, 28 players. This is where it starts to get a little bit more hairy for all the players. You've got teams on the far side trying to get out of trouble because SS Sports have got 5 kills in the bag now and have looked, after looking so quiet, looking menacing as they chase down their opponents, and they are going for glory here.
What a great use for the grenade launcher, but now SS is being pressured and they are going back to the lobby, Johnny.
Well, they've gone. It was such a flourish for them. That is a surprise. That's great news for this tournament because it's opened things up. However, Santos, though, have just joined them as well. And this is the thing. Also quiet, and then teams heading back to the lobby at an alarming rate, but we're going to have a very interesting table depending on who finishes in that top 2, top 3. But this is the worst showing so far for SE Sports, who were looking so good for so long and now have crumbled in Game 4, which has blown this up wide open. 4 teams, 13 players alive. Who will take the booyah? Who will take those massive kill points? These results are going to open up this table. But who is going to come out on top?
And these are 3 of the 4 teams that were on the top, and LBFF, Vivo Keyd, Team Liquid, and Pain Gaming right now battling for the booyah.
Who can do it? Are we going to get a new leader? SS Esports twice, Pain Gaming in our 3 matches so far. Are we going to get a different booyah here? Time is clicking down here very quickly. 12 players alive, 4 teams in it. Pain Gaming. And now Vivo Keyd, who've been quiet in this competition so far. Chance for glory for them. 3 teams in it, 11 players alive. Who's going to take this? The firefights now are heating up here. They've got to use the cover. They've got to move forward as they can. Team Liquid, 5 on the board. Pain Gaming on 5. We're switching between the teams very quickly because the kill team is lining up. 2 teams in this one. Only 8 players alive. Which team will take the glory? How is this going to look like? We've got a double kill on the board. Team Liquid now with 5 with them. 8 players are still in it. Still anybody's game. But they are pushing forward here. They need some kind of protection. They need some cover. And the firefights build here. Vivo Keyd with 4 kills. And the body count is mounting up. The final action, I said. And we've got that final already so quickly in this free fire match. And VK take the booyah!
VK is the team that we talked about before this game, Johnny. For some reason, we always talk about the team that end up doing good in the next game. We are so good here.
So lucky.
So lucky. Yeah, and Vivo Keyd played very well, and they rushed in Payne's team right at the end at the right time, because Payne was at the top of the bridge, very near the bridge for a long time, and just was waiting everything to happen. And then Team Liquid tried to avoid every single thing, being under the bridge and waiting. And then Payne Gaming noticed that and trying to start a fight against Team Liquid. But at that exact time, VK just went for the kill, just went for for Payne Gaming, and were able to kill everybody and then go against Team Liquid and get the booyah. It was a beautiful game to watch. We started very aggressively, and then we got to the calm part where nothing really happens, and then at the end, a beautiful 5-team fight. It was crazy to watch, right?
Absolutely. Bermuda then this fourth battle, perhaps the most open, and a lot of surprises in this one as well. And I think the table may look a little bit different, but whatever happens, it's going to be a lot more compact at the top. We saw those 5 Brazilian sides looking fairly compact. SS Esports then winning the first 2 battles, looking like they're going to walk away with this title very, very easy. Payne Gaming won battle number 3 in Kalahari, VK now in Bermuda. So we've got 3 different winners of our first 4 games, and there's still going to be loads to play for. And I've got a feeling that when we see it, the table is going to look a little bit different as we move into our final 2 battles.
Especially because if we start to just look at every single game that we had right now, and Team Liquid is consistently at the top. If we see the first game, they were on 4th on just most points in the first game, then 3rd in the second in the 3rd, and now on the 4th. We don't really know yet, but they were at the top again. So I believe the Team Liquid is going to get a better place in the standings right now, Johnny.
We'll see those tables to see the standings in just a minute, but 2 more battles to come. Still all to play for here. Anybody can take this title. Those teams in the top 5 looking the strongest, but it could be anybody's battle. Those 2 major contests still to come. So we shall see what's going to happen here, but it's going to be a lot closer at the top of the table, which we shall see in just a few moments.
And I'm very excited to see the standings, because now it's every single point. We have to just do the math and try to, know who needs to maybe die first and go back to the lobby earlier, so someone else gets the chance to maybe get to the top. So every single thing will matter right now.
4 games down then, still 2 to come in this Continental Series Free Fire contest. A lot more action. Who knows who will take the title? For so long, SS Esports looked like the team to beat. Suddenly in the last 2 matches, they have had problems. They have had competition.
Yeah, everybody showed up to show their gameplay now that maybe they have that feeling. I do. I have that in the beginning, I'm more nervous. So maybe they felt that it's a lot of pressure to represent their region, to represent their country. So maybe now they're just going to start playing their game and not worrying that much, Johnny.
And we shall see 2 more games to come, 2 big matches. We still don't know who is going to take this Continental Series crown. They are the standings then. We've got the standings there. And, well, Team Liquid have moved to the top of the table. SS Esports, for the first time today, have been knocked off their perch. Only by 1 point, but just look how tight it is. Certainly between the top 4. Santos as well on the top 5, still in with a shout, but it is so compact, so tight, and we have a new leader in Team Liquid who have yet to get a booyah.
Yeah, without a booyah, we talked about that in the beginning of the broadcast, that the booyah is not always the most important thing, and Team Liquid is showing that. SS Esports got 2 booyahs so far, and are not at the top by 1 point, but still it's good to see how everything can still change.
More action to come. Before then, another mini break, but stay with us.
Through the fire of deception, through the pain of every lesson, I am bold and I am strong, there is no question. Never knew where I was heading, till I found real understanding. There is purpose for my life, it's time for action. When it all comes down, I will hold my ground. I'm standing tall. I was made for
We await game number 5 in the Free Fire Continental Championship. Game number 4, battle number 4, Bermuda really opened up things in the league table. Team Liquid suddenly the new leaders as we get ready for battle number 5.
And we are heading over to Purgatory right now. And Johnny, we talked earlier about how the teams are not totally comfortable with Kalahari. So now it's the last time to feel comfortable but go for all win.
The penultimate game then here in the Free Fire Continental Series 2020. Still to play for in this competition, those teams at the top of the table, especially the top 4, top 5. So we get our early firefight and we get our first kill. And this is an aggressive start here. SS Esports suddenly knocked off their perch. They've got their first kill in the bag already with only a few seconds into this Purgatory map. They want to retain their crown. They want to go back top. 3 kills for them already.
SS Esports, they went to Moat House just to kill Team Ace. They know that they need those points, so probably they looked for a team that they consider weaker and went over there just to get those points. They lost 1 player because of that, but I think that they thought it was good anyway.
And we shall see if that game strategy is going to work out for SS Esports, knocked off their perch by Team Liquid, but only by 1 point. They've got a player down already, but they've got 3 kills in the bag. Will it prove to be the right way to get success in this penultimate battle at Purgatory for this one? VK winners of Battle 4 in Bermuda, so SS Esports are the first 2. Pain Gaming and VK. A surprise winner to some extent in that battle, but we're in the final 2 contests to take the Free Fire Continental Series, and we've seen some aggressive stuff already from SS Esports and Vivo. Winners of the last battle.
Let's see how Vivo is going to react, because Ignis Esports, they during practice this week, they were not coming to Brasilia in the beginning of the game, and they are trying to go back to their comfort zone now.
They're in a bit of trouble here though. They've just lost a player, Vivo. They're trying to put down some fire and support, but this is all very congested, and this is a great opportunity for one of these teams, or 2 of these teams, to pick up some kills as well, because the teams are also compressed. They're also in some difficult situations. And the body bags already mounting. 7 players have returned to the lobby already. We've got a team out already as we focus on Pain Gaming. Took battle number 3. Cruzeiro are topping the kill bag charts, and Pain in a bit of trouble here because they've got teams on either side of them, and they will try to get out, but we've got more teams crashing out, down to 9 teams already. This has been eventful in Purgatory because there's a lot to play for, a lot at stake, and the firefights are coming thick and fast. And Pain Gaming in danger here of losing a 3rd member. They've got that recovery, they've got the health, they've got that option here in Free Fire, of course. But you're taking points off the players. And Vivo moving up that killing charts, down to 8 teams. This is very, very quick stuff, isn't it? Purgatory, in fact, the first time round was pretty slow. Not so on this occasion.
We know that 4 teams really liked Brasilia here in Purgatory, and now that we are playing the last Purgatory of the day, everybody wants that spot, wants that comfort zone, that center of the map, and that's why they are fighting for it, Johnny. So
8 teams, 27 players. Vivo and our Santos with 3 kills on the wall for them, using cover to good effect. They've got to use those grenades properly as well when they can. Or the frying pan if you just want a little bit of protection offers you something, but the teams here very close, very compact. Santos trying to use the cover of the buildings. They've got VK on the outside, so VK here a bit exposed, and VK are going to crash out. Santos are taking the kill lead. That is a blow for VK. So impressive in the last game. Early shower.
And now we can see that there are other fights happening throughout the whole map, and now Team Liquid against Red, and if Team Liquid loses, it's going to be hard for them to stay on that top 1, Johnny.
3 kills so far, all mounting up to points, of course, but they want to stay in this game a lot longer. They became the new leaders by 1 point, knocking off SS Esports off their perch for the first time in this competition, but this is the penultimate game. Is only this plus Kalahari. It's going to be all so interesting when we go into Kalahari, because I think we're going to go right to the wire in this Free Fire Continental Series from 2020. Now, this is a good place to be for SS Esports. You can rain down the firepower. However, if you get caught up there, you are in trouble.
Johnny, I believe this is the first game in this year that I see only 7 teams in this early in the game.
It has been so quick, this one, so very, very quick. And the firefights are coming a lot quicker. 7 teams, 21 players alive at the moment, but that number is going to drop very, very quickly as we look at Flamengo. Crashed out early in the last battle, but looking for points. See, this is the problem with the tower. You're stuck up there, and you can get the points, but you've got to get out if a team starts to surround you. Flamengo down to 2 already. Not looking great for the side from Rio de Janeiro.
It's very hard to rush on that place, and we can see that because both teams lost 2 players already, Johnny.
Flamengo in danger of losing a 3rd. It is great, as we've said, but you get stuck up there, you are in trouble if people rush. SS Sports now on 7 kills, looking promising, wanting to return that top spot. And Flamengo go out again.
SS with 7 kills so far is very good for them. They were just 1 point from getting that first place after the last match. So now SS is looking good. They're probably very confident right now, but only 2 players. The only thing is that, Johnny, look how big the safe is. It's so big. It's the first safe. It's very uncommon to see such an aggressive gameplay from the beginning like that.
A huge safe zone, and there's a lot of time to go still in this match. Battle really at the top between SS Esports, Team Liquid going mobile here. SS Esports looking good. They want to go back to the top of the table, but they could be in a bit of trouble here because they're surrounded. Team Liquid starting to mount up their kills. They had 1 point lead over SS Esports at the end of the last battle, but they're looking good here, looking aggressive, trying to apply the pressure, and SS Esports crash out. They get eliminated. They head to the lobby. Their game plan looks like it's not going to work. In fact, it's not worked. They clocked up the kills, but they lost, as you said, they lost players early on. That is the danger. They wanted to re-establish themselves. They wanted the kills early on. They got the kills, but they have gone pretty early on in this 5th game.
It's very interesting to see that even though the safe is so big, everybody still knows where the other teams are. And that's what Team Liquid did. They knew that SS Esports were there. They probably knew because of the kill feed that SS didn't have all their players, so they just rushed. And that was great for them because it is a fight for the first place in the standings. So great for Team Liquid, but now they have to get those kills to try to equal the points that SS did before going back to the lobby.
They had the 1 point advantage over SS. before coming into this game, so depending on their kill rate and where they finish in this battle as well. But it's looking good, looking very, very good indeed for Team Liquid.
And right now we are looking at Arctic Gaming. They are the last Latin American team on this map. The other teams are already in the lobby, and it's going to be a tough situation for them, but also very important because right now all the top 6 teams are Brazilians. So the Arctic Gaming, that is representing Mexico, really wants to at least get to the first half of the standings.
The best placed of the Latino sides before coming into this 5th and penultimate battle. Cruzeiro with 5 kills on the board.
Cruzeiro is an aggressive team, but it's not managing to just get that across today. At least we didn't see them getting that many opportunities to just fight in a situation that they have some type of advantage that they can capitalize on. So that's why Cruzeiro right now is, if I'm not mistaken, the last Brazilian team in the standings.
Started 3rd from bottom in the last table. Cruzeiro, who were effective in the play-ins, their tactic was to wait and then move in very, very late for the kills. You rarely saw them in the battles from last week. It hasn't worked out for them. They've been outclassed for most of this competition. Still in action though, 5 kills. Hoping to climb up the leadership board at the end of this one. This is the penultimate battle of the day. Kalahari, the big one, the tricky one, is to come.
This is great for Red, that has only 1 player, and in a normal game, it would be very difficult for him all by himself to get a top 5. But because this game is so crazy, even though he's all alone, he's already on top 5 on this purgatory. So very good for Red. They are also one of the Brazilian teams that are on the second half of the standings. And Juanjeda, the player that has survived, is a very... he is the captain in the mind behind Red. So maybe he will be able to get at least to the top 3.
More action here. Cruzeiro had the players spread out. They got 5 kills to their name so far, 5 teams. And as you said, the safe zone was quite big. It's going to be closing in because those kill mounts are coming now. Cruzeiro on 6, 5 teams, 13 players. Action came here very early on. We had a lot of fire fights going out. We saw the one-time leaders, Ignis Esports, heading back to the lobby a lot earlier than they wanted. They went for it. You can see the tactics. They went for early kills. They got them, but it cost them. And now Cruzeiro just trying to flank their opponents. A use of grenades, 6 kills for them. Trying to fire through. And, well, that's a surprise there. The wall doing its job as Cruzeiro now get 8, and Active Gaming, they go out as well. 4 teams, 11 players.
All Brazilian teams again in the end of the game. Grenade launcher is being very important right now, Johnny.
You have to use it as Team Liquid. Looking strong once again. Top the table going into this penultimate match. Down to 2. Also, this is Santos, who are down to 2, 6 kills on the board for them. Again, as you said, the Brazilians looking strong. But we're going to get a closer table. Things got really, really close. Different winners in the last 3 battles. And Santos are eliminated. Down to 3. Team Liquid looking strong, looking menacing, wanting to retain that top spot. 8 players alive at Team Liquid, looking like they could again move forward, maybe get their first booyah. We've not had one so far. They've led the table in the last round, didn't get a booyah, looking good here, though. Can they take it? That is the question. There's the firepower. You can't get caught out in the open. Teams manoeuvring just to try to get those final few kills, because those few kills will make the points count. Different at the level. And Team Liquid piling down the pressure, looking for more kills. Didn't get one there. Players now using every single ounce of their ability, of their cunning, of their strategic and tactical knowledge, because this is the moment of truth in Game 5. And we've got Kalahari to come. I know a little bit of lull in the proceedings, but the safe zones were getting even smaller. Cruzeiro have done well here. 8 kills on the board, but just the 1 loss of player, so they're looking promising as well. Red Kalunga, nothing on the board, but still in the match. Looking a bit hard, though, for Red Kalunga. Cruzeiro and Team Liquid looking the two most likely, but this game is full of surprises.
And Team Liquid has the number advantage because they have all 4 players alive. Cruzeiro has 3. And Red just going to give up, because this way he's not going to give 2 points to some team else.
Well, 2 teams then, 7 players alive, as you said, 4 of them for Team Liquid. They look menacing. They are going, I think they're going to stay top. We shall see. They look like they could be in for their first booyah, but Cruzeiro have different things in mind. Cruzeiro have been quiet in this competition, not what they wanted so far. They've got the high ground. They might wait and watch. Can they exploit it, though? That is the question. They need to get that compact team movement. They need to be able to rain down the firepower. Team Liquid, though, as we know, so tricky, so deadly. But having that one-man advantage. And Cruzeiro will try to exploit the situation. They know they've got a player less, but can they make it count, though? Team's getting closer. This is going to be the moment of truth. There's still 7 out there, still 4 of them are Team Liquid. Now that's down to 6. Body counts coming up. Team Liquid on 9, though. Can they press the advantage? They've got the firepower. They've got the kills. Can they finish off the job? Still 6 players alive. The fire is raining down to 4 now. And we have our next winner. And it's going to be a booyah for Team Liquid. They get their first booyah of the campaign. They're going to stay top. Congratulations all round. They are in a very, very strong position with still 1 more battle to come.
And what a great game for them, Johnny, because they started like... they found SS very soon, and they were able to just kill everybody and survive and get to the end to get the booyah. And that's what they needed after SS to get so many kills in the beginning of this last game. So I believe that everything is going to be decided in the last game of the day.
We've got 1 more fantastic battle to come as we take a look at the best moments then of this penultimate game, Purgatory. It was a lot more quicker because SS Esports, they were knocked off their perch at the end of the last battle. They went for early kills, they got them, but it came at a price. And in the end, that price really cost them because they went out halfway through of game battle number 5. But the team now, Team Liquid, looking very, very strong.
What an interesting game. We had so many fights right in the beginning, and we still went all the way to the very, very end. The safe basically finished and forced the 2 remaining teams to fight because Cruzeiro had the high ground but didn't have any cover, and Team Liquid had a house to just protect them even though they were on the downside of the territory. So it was just details to really tell if Cruzeiro or Team Liquid would get the booyah, and then Team Liquid with a very well used grenade launcher. Since the beginning, that's what they used against SS. We can see that right now in the Game 5 highlights. And at the end was also crucial for them to get that first place.
A huge battle then for these two sides. Team Liquid getting their first booyah as well. The question is, who has got the kills? We saw SS Esports going out a lot earlier than they'd hoped for, but they clocked up the kills, so they're still going to be in it. The final table of this encounter, this epic encounter here, we'll be seeing in just shortly, but we're still looking at the best moments from this game number 5, but it's going to go down to Kalahari to see who will take this crown. Who will take the Free Fire Continental Series from 2020? We will go to the final and all-important battle at Kalahari, which is always tricky. Threw up surprises in game number 3, but we are heading towards a big finale here.
Team Liquid, top 5 in all games right now, were able to get the booyah that they were basically craving for. They really wanted that booyah. They were always on the top, but not really at the first place, and now they got there. So let's hope that in the next game, it's going to be that interesting as well, because confidence is key in Free Fire. And for sure, Team Liquid, after that booyah, they are going to be hyped.
SS Esports were full of confidence in the first 2 battles. I thought they were going to walk up over this because the gap was absolutely huge at the top. And then in game 3, Pain Gaming came in to take Kalahari, and then VK in game 4. Team Liquid now the team to catch. We've got one final big battle to come. We're still waiting to see the standings and the table. I've got a feeling it's going to be very close, and it could be any team from maybe the top 2, top 3, top 4 as we wait confirmation who will take this title. But it's going to go right to the wire in the map which everybody fears.
And that's why it's so good when you have a championship like this that has only 6 games, because it is hard. Every single mistake will count, but we can see that a team that shows up and get 2 booyahs can fight with a team that is consistent throughout.
Our Team Liquid then, they've extended the lead at the top of the table. They are the team to catch. It's going to be very tough for the sides below them. Maybe a 2-horse race here between Team Liquid and SS Esports. Santos, I think, maybe out of that one. It would have to be an absolutely fantastic game. Team Liquid and SS Sports would have to go out very quickly. So it looks like it's between Team Liquid and SS Esports in Kalahari, which is the place can throw up a lot of surprises. And it really have to keep an eye on those 2 sides to see who will take this crown. But it's going to go right to the very end in this Free Fire Continental Series from 2020.
And the Brazilian teams are really going and looking for the Latin teams. And we can see that how that reflects in the standings, because 3 teams from Latin America are in the last places right now. So the Brazilian teams are really going for them, really trying to find them and get those kills in the beginning. So the Latin teams are not having that opportunity to really show their gameplay, at least not in this second half of the day. Right now, Johnny, we have a top 7 that is full of Brazilian teams.
8 teams from Brazil, 3 from Mexico, 1 from Chile, but as you said, 7 Brazilians in the top 8. Arctic Gaming, the best from the rest of Latin America. Prize money, all these teams will be getting a share of that $300,000 prize money. The winner will get $80,000, the biggest chunk. And I can tell you, living in Brazil, the dollar is sky high against the local currency, the real, and that is a lot of pocket money for one of these Brazilian sides.
Yeah, and right now the probability is that we have Team Liquid or SS Sports as winners, but we can still see someone surprise us all the way to top 4, I would say, especially because if I'm not mistaken, the top points that we got in Brazil for one single game was 56. if I'm not mistaken. So if Santos, that is the top 4 right now, gets 56 points and Team Liquid just fall short and get any, they can still win.
All to play for then in this final match. And it's Kalahari. We talked about Kalahari before. It's the game, it's the map where the teams fear what might happen to them.
Yeah, they will be out of their comfort zone for sure, and probably having to deal with a very aggressive gameplay from everybody right now. So I'm putting my money on a Kalahari, very interesting and full of action.
What can we expect from, as we check out our maps, we're at Game Max 6, what do you think we can expect from Team Liquid and SS Sports? What are their tactics? How are they feeling right now? Do they go cautious? Do they go for the kill?
They are probably going to go cautious and try to avoid, especially each other. Because if they face each other, the one that falls, it's going to lose. So they are going to avoid each other like never before. It's going to be like a vampire running from an onion or something like that. So,
or even garlic?
Garlic, yes. So, yeah. Garlic, it's better. Okay, good that I have Johnny here. But it's going to be that, I believe. But the other teams, Santos especially, that is an aggressive team when they have the chance. They are a type of team that really likes to study the situation, know who they are going against, and then trying to adapt their gameplay to punish the other team in the best way possible. But here in Kalahari, when you are in need of those points, maybe they don't have the time to really strategize that much. So maybe they are going just to that free fire, you know, let's just play free fire, and maybe they can surprise all of us.
Team tactics can go out of the window in this map, as we saw in battle number 3. It's so tricky, but teams don't like it. It's a map really for the elite sides, for the mental side of the game. There's so much pressure, really is so much pressure on these very young players, and really congratulations to all of them so far in this, because the talent of these players is just absolutely poof. It's up here. So there's been some great stuff from them, but this is the moment of truth, especially for Team Liquid, especially for esports. They are the firm favourites, but as you said, Santos, with a bit of fortune, because that plays a massive part in this game, they could sneak in, but you really have to say, Team Liquid and esports, red hot favourites, but who will take this title?
12 teams, but only one can get the crown. But just to be here, just to play the Americas Free Fire Continental Series is a huge accomplishment. It was not easy. We know that the finals from each region was very tight, and then we had the play-ins that showed that as well. Basically, everybody is having an opportunity to show their Free Fire and to learn, because as we said in the beginning of the broadcast, Brazilian right now is the strongest region in the world, and Latin America is having the opportunity to learn and to show that they can go against those teams. And Brazilian is just looking forward to maintain that dominance that they have as a region, and just show that it's hard to go against the teams from Brazil as well. And we are always seeing other winners. Each time a different team from Brazil wins. So that's why it's so interesting, and everybody needs to be happy just to be playing the CS finals.
A lesson in life then: avoid Brazilian teams at football and avoid them at Free Fire at your cost. Final match, Kalahari, coming up shortly. All to play for. We don't know who's going to be the big winner of this Continental Series. We will find out very shortly. But Kalahari is coming very quickly, and it's anybody's battle.
It is a different map from the others, and that's why we already expect Kalahari so much. And now that we know that this is the final map and everything is going to be decided here, we are even more excited. And we can feel the heat from the map because it's very hot in Kalahari. And now we can feel the heat between these teams that are fighting for the first place, and also the other ones that are fighting for the opportunity to show their free fire again.
They want to show their free fire ability. They want to climb up the table, of course, because the higher they go, the bigger the prize money. So tensions all round, especially Team Liquid and Esports. They're the ones to look out for. They're the ones really under pressure. Anna, you've been in this position. How they're feeling right now as we go into Kalahari? Are they a little bit more than nervous, or are they going to be cool heads out there?
Let's find out then, because we already started the last game and we can see some changes. SS is still on that Santa Catarina place, but Arctic Gaming looks like they are trying to find fight for them to just look for those kills in the beginning of the game, Johnny.
Our teams maybe vying for position. We've got our first kill already. Seconds on the clock.
Yeah, and that kill was for Savage. Savage Esports, one of the teams from Latin region, and they are from Chile. All their players are from Argentina, but they are here to represent all their region, Latin America. They got that first kill, and now they are just pressuring Cruzeiro and trying to get another one.
How is this final match in the Free Fire Continental Series going to pan out? We had the firm favourites of Santos are lurking behind in third, Pain Gaming in fourth, a little behind. But if fortune favours the brave, maybe one of those two teams can sneak in. Down for two players have already dropped out. Must be so frustrating. This is the final game and you're chopped. You're in the lobby already. Again, SS Esports looking for the high ground, but they need some cover because already it's an early firefight. I just wonder if this one's going to get decided early on in this tie. Neither team at the top wants to go out early on. And we've got a team out already, as SS Esports already laid down the gauntlet. They need the kills. They need to stay into this final match for as long as possible because Team Liquid are beside to beat as things stand.
What a beautiful grenade. Got two players from red, and it's going to be hard to save them. They are not going to be able to do that, Johnny.
Kalunga then down to two players, as you said. The use of grenades so key here. And players have to get down quickly. They can't afford to be standing around to be open targets. Ignis with two kills, but also two players already in the lobby. The kill rate here is very, very quick. Sometimes we get these opening flourishes where we get teams making contact, going for kills early on, and then we get that lull until the finale, the blitz, right at the very, very end. But this is quite quick stuff. 9 players out already, and this map, as we have talked about, so tricky for the teams. A map many don't like. It's unpredictable. It's so difficult to navigate, so difficult to do exactly what you want to do. That's why this one is great to be the third in the series of the two parts of this competition, because it could throw up surprises.
And Red tried to be a surprise as well, just going for Ignis right in the beginning, but it backfired. They lost 3 players, and now Alemão that just got in to play. He was changed by another player, so he just got in, and he has to survive all by himself.
Red and Ignis were quite close to each other in the league table, which is why, as you said before as well, teams looking at the teams around them in the table, maybe looking for those teams to knock them out, to make sure that they finish above them, so as they battle for the championship title, of course. But the teams below them all got something to play for, because they would be looking at those sides around them. They'll be wanting to take them out, making sure they finish in the points total above them in that final and all-important table.
And I wonder where Team Liquid is right now, because if they saw that SS already got some kills, the pressure is on.
Pressure's on. They've got that gap at the top. They had 19-point lead, which is comfortable, but it doesn't guarantee them the title. So cautious from Team Liquid. 4 kills on the board already for SS. Knowing that they are chasing this match, knowing that Team Liquid are lurking. There they are. They get their first kill. First look at the potential champions. Still a long way to go in this final match. All to play for at the top. And those placements, those standings, still all important for those cash prizes.
If I'm not mistaken, Team Liquid is on the exactly same spot that they did on the last Kalahari. And right now, SS is very close to them, Johnny.
I just wonder, are they going to go for it, these two? I've got a feeling it will be SS who will be forcing the issue. Team Liquid, I think, slightly more cautious because they want to maintain that lead. They've got that 19-point cushion they had at the start of this battle. So they know it's down to SS Sports to take the game to them. And they could do it, SS Sports. We saw it in Battle 5, where it paid off early on when they got the kills, but they lost the players and ended up going midway through. And Team Liquid took their first booyah. They have timed their run to perfection. I just got that feeling that they will be a little more cautious in this battle, unless they see an opportunity. Oh, Cruzeiro go. Disappointing final tournament for them. Down to 10, 35 players. On the ledge here leaves you exposed, especially if you run into traffic. Again, a great viewpoint for Santos, but you have to stick your head over the parapet. SS lurking at the bottom. They've got Santos above them. Santos, though, one player spread out. They've got 3 in good killing positions. But will Santos want to take on SS Esports? That is the question. Maybe not until they get all their players grouped together.
Yes, and Santos was one of the teams that we were talking about before we started this game, that if they can get a lot of points and the top teams don't, then they are maybe able to get the first place.
And they are above SS Esports. SS Esports a little bit exposed because Santos are in great fire positions, and Santos moved to a second kill. Was that one of the SS men who went down, went back to the lobby? Santos, as you said, if they can get a decent points haul here, they could climb above into that second or even first slot. They're on 3 kills now. Santos looking good, looking aggressive, using that high ground to very, very good advantage. 10 teams, 33 players still alive. It's the final match. It's the big one in Kalahari. The place teams fear.
And you can see how Santos know this place, because they are able to see, to spot the other teams, and then know where they need to stand to just get those kills, and not really exploding in a team fight that can cost one of their players. So right now Santos has 3 kills and lost nobody, and we feel like Santos didn't really get into any team fights. They are just capitalizing on their positioning and getting those points.
They've got a good position. Can get a bit dangerous for Santos if they've got teams coming up from different directions, but SS Esports are down to 2. They've got 4 kills. Not looking great for them. Again, Team Liquid we saw lurking in the background, waiting for the moment, watching what's happening as we turn to Vivo in their firefight now. wanting to pick up points, wanting to pick up kills. So far, things looking very good for Team Liquid, but it can change on this map, and it can change very quickly.
VK is a team that had to adapt a lot to play the finals for FFCS, because especially here in Kalahari, that they used to always go for the center of the map, and that place was taken by Santos and was very hard to just fight for it in the beginning of the game. So they choose to just move and change it up, and we can see that not the whole time they are completely confident about where they're heading, but still they are able to get that booyah that we saw before and face the other teams on the same level.
And Santos now on 4 kills. Santos, the outsiders in this final battle royale. Maybe in with a chance, though, of just edging it into second slot, because they're looking good. They know SS are down to 2 players. SS Esports, though, have been deadly. 2 booyahs looked like they were going to run away with this competition. Didn't happen. Still in with a chance, though, of taking it right at the end. Once again, Ruan, 5. We focused on him momentarily. Santos on those 4 kills. And VK looking for their first kill in this final battle, but nicely grouped together. They've got that compact movement as they tried to move en masse into a good firing position. And SS Esports, their life is on a limb here. They want to hang on for as long as they can, but they've still got to get those kills. So it's a very difficult situation for SS Esports, who are very spread out.
And now Team Liquid will probably notice Rick and get another kill for them, Johnny.
Team Liquid, they had that point cushion. Only 1 win so far, but down to 3 players. They know if they can move in and eliminate SS, the crown is going to be theirs, assuming Santos don't go all the way, because Santos have been good in this final match. So it's that tactical battle still going on. The nerves are there, but Team Liquid suddenly on the move here. And when they're on the move, things start to get a little hairy for the rest of the teams.
What a different game than the one before, right? SS now fighting against VK still and dropped 2 players.
Well, they showed how deadly they are, but they're down. They've got those 5 kills, all important kills, but they're down to 2 players, and they've been down to 2, now down to 1 for a very long time. Is looking grim for SS Esports. They need to hang on, they need to try to pick up kills, they need to finish up the table as much as they can, but Team Liquid looking like they're going to be in a very good position. It might go down between Team Liquid and Santos as Flamengo move forward. Looking to add to their kill rate. We're down to 28 live players here. Still 10 teams though. The firefights are coming more frequently. The grenades will be out. The glue walls are up. They can't protect you from everything though. And SS Esports, they crash out of this one. They have gone. This is looking good for Team Liquid, but will they take the crown at the end? Might be down to Santos. Santos would have to take a lot of points as teams crash out. But SS Esports, they have gone. Team Liquid looking in a very strong position. Are they going to go on to crown this glory for them? They would have seen that. I think there would have been celebrations. Santos, they were lurking. Santos, the only opposition really, but Santos is so far behind. And now Flamengo have gone. And teams are dropping up. Team Liquid also, they went as well. They've gone out. Have they done enough? We're going to have to wait to the final points total. Team Liquid going out. Alongside second place SS Esports, Santos we saw looking promising, and Vivo Keyd, who won battle number 4, still in this one as well. So it's that shuffle for the sides below. Team Liquid, I think, may have taken it, but we shall see. It's going to be a lot closer than we thought. And Santos, though, can they nip in to second slot or even first?
Yeah, they were, if I'm not mistaken, 40 points behind, and they already are close to getting that. Actually, they just got, if they get the Booyah right now, Johnny, they already have 40 points in their bag.
Santos then, can they take it right at the very end? It's getting exciting here in his final game in the Continental Series. And Team VK, they have gone as well. Another position, 2 sides in it. Can Santos do it? Santos right at the very end, applying some pressure here. Can they do it at the end to take this title, to move into first or second place? And we're going to find out right now who's got it. We've got the final Booyah of the day, and it's gone to Santos. Booyah for Santos. Have they done enough, though, to take this final championship? They're on their feet. Do they think they've done it? I think they've got at least second. Have they got enough to take this title? We shall find out as soon as we get the updated standings, but it's going to be very, very, very close indeed.
Johnny, they got 48 points on that game. Santos can really surprise us. We will have to wait for the standings to really know who is going to take the crown, and who would guess. SS is strong since the beginning. Team Liquid very consistent, and Santos just surprising everybody at the end of the day. Can be any of those 3 teams, and this is so likely in a FFCS.
Well, we don't know. We don't know who's won it. Right now, we're waiting for that table, the updated standing. Santos, as you said, 40 points behind Team Liquid as they went into this final match. They took the Booyah for the first time in these 6 games. They got the kills as well. I think... Well, we should see. I'm not guessing this because I have no idea who has won this tournament, who has won the Free Fire Continental Series. We're going to find out very shortly, but it's going to be very, very tight amongst the top 3, maybe even the top 4.
We are very excited and talking a lot about the standings, but I have to praise Red. What Alemão did, Johnny, his teams was one of the first to lose 3 players, and they got second place, just avoiding everything and surviving. And when you are playing a battle royale, surviving is very important, and Red showed that they know how to play on that way if they need to. They adapt so well in Kalahari. In my opinion, one of the best teams here in this map, and they have shown that again. But Santos with the Booyah, very well played. They got that Booyah without losing any players, and all those skills that they got, just like avoiding at some level the fights, but at the same time getting the kills. And one showing up with 7 kills just on this Kalahari. And we have to remember, Johnny, that the MVP for these FFCS is the player from the winning team that has the most kills.
And we are still waiting for the final moment. We're still waiting for that final title. Who has taken the Free Fire Continental Series in 2020? Great run from Santos right at the very end. Their first Booyah. We've had those 2 winners, Ignis Esports in the first 2 battles. Pain Gaming is when things turned around in battle number 3. Then came VK in battle number 4. Team Liquid looked so strong in battle 5. They were the leaders as we went into the final thing at Kalahari. Santos, though, looking very, very strong, but who will finish as the leader, as the title takers? Who will get that $80,000 prize money? We're still waiting. We want to see the table, and we want to see the table right now, but I think we're going to have to wait.
Yeah, especially because I know that we have a special guest again, Kelly. Soon she's going to announce who won this FFCS for the Americas. So soon we're going to call Kelly, and she is going to be the one to give the news, Johnny.
But we're going to have to wait. Kelly's not quite ready because we had 12 teams, of course. So Kelly didn't know who was going to win.
She
this
did a
competition.
show for us in the beginning, so she needs to get ready to deliver that news as well. And she knows how excited and how we really want to know. And what a day! What a day! 6 games, very equal from everybody. But if I'm not mistaken, Johnny, correct me if I'm wrong. All Buyas were from Brazilian teams?
SSE Sports, 2 for them, the first 2 battles.
Yeah.
Pain Gaming number 3, VK number 4, Team Liquid number 5, and Santos.
Yeah. So all Brazilian teams. So that's how Brazil is showing again how big of a region they are in Free Fire. They have a high level, if not the highest in the world. So they are showing that again here. We can see how LBFF has a huge level of gameplay for Free Fire, as well as the other region. But yes, Brazil is still the region to beat.
We are awaiting the final league standings in 6 battle royales. We have some great stuff here this afternoon from Brazil, but we don't know who has taken the title. A reminder, in the penultimate game, Team Liquid on 143, SSE Sports on 103, then came Pain Gaming. Santos on 103, then came Pain on 198 for Flamengo. Santos then with a very, very late run at the end. They got the booyah, they got a lot of kills. Was it enough, though, to take the title? We are waiting for Kelly to make the official announcement.
It is nice to see, like, now that we are considering that maybe, we don't know, but it's between SS, Team Liquid, and Santos. And it's interesting to see Santos being here. We're talking about them because they were very, very strong during the regular season in LBFF, but in the finals, they didn't deliver. So they had to play play-ins last week, and they didn't qualify in the top 2. They were top 3. So Santos is very strong, but was not able to be at the top at any point on those important days. But here they are fighting for that top 1. So they showed that they can adapt, and their Free Fire is at a very high level.
Well, this is the moment we've all been waiting for as we switch to our special announcer, Kelly.
Hello, survivors! Good to see everyone again. We are ready to announce the winner. Are you ready for this? The winner is...
Champion of the Americas, Team Liquid, Johnny.
Oh, Team Liquid then. We were talking about Santos. We knew it was going to be close. But Team Liquid, who really came up in battle number 5 in Purgatory, they take the crown. We want to see how close it is. But Team Liquid, congratulations to them. They take the Free Fire Continental Series in 2020. Hard fought stuff. They timed their run to perfection. They overcame the mighty challenge of SSE Sports, but Team Liquid then are this year's champions.
And Lucas TD is the MVP with the most kills in the team that has won. That is Team Liquid. Got the crown, got that prize money, and they can now say that they were the winners for LBFF 1, and they are here winning again.
What a performance from Team Liquid. It looked touch and go, especially in that final bout at Kalahari when they were under trouble. They were in some pressure. We thought it was going to be a battle between SS Sports and Team Liquid. And then Santos suddenly had a great match in Kalahari. But Team Liquid, again, congratulations to them. They have taken the crown of the Americas.
It was not easy, Johnny. It was really, really not easy, because soon we are going to see the standings, and then you are going to, everybody that is watching is going to understand why Team Liquid won. But it was so so close, even closer than you probably think.
We await the standings, still await the standings. Team Liquid, explain to us why. What was so special about Team Liquid?
Yeah, so why it was so difficult that Team Liquid won? Why it wasn't easy? Why it wasn't just against SS? Santos with the Buia were able to equal the points for Team Liquid and managed to win because of how we do the when you have the same points, you know, Johnny, that you need some ways to just get different, you know, the points, and that was the detail that got Team Liquid to win.
Well, also very, very tight in this match, which we predicted in the end will go right to the wire. And just to recap, battle number 1, SS Esports taking Bermuda. They then took Purgatory in battle number 2. Pain Gaming, this is when things got really interesting. Pain Gaming in 3 in Kalahari, the joker of the pack. And then from then on, any team could have won it. VK came in battle number 4 in Bermuda. Team Liquid showed their strength in battle number 5 in Purgatory. Santos came on strong in battle number 6 in Kalahari. But it is Team Liquid who take this crown in the Free Fire Continental Series in 2020.
Very good games from all the teams we saw today. And 6 games is not a lot. Every single mistake counts. And yeah, I think it's everything that we expected. Very, we saw some fights that were very equal, and that's what we all wanted to see, Johnny.
Well, this is how it's going to finish them. Congratulations once again to Team Liquid, the champions in the Free Fire Continental Series from 2020. That's about it from us. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage of this exciting and lucrative competition. If you're a winner, join us next time whenever you can. Anna Shoes D and me, Johnny Cougar, saying goodbye from São Paulo, Brazil.
Bye.
Booyah! Great job, guys! I regret that the team could not be here to celebrate with us on stage, but I believe that countless Free Fire fans are celebrating in front of their screens. After 6 drops, they finally conquered all their opponents and earned the title of Continental Champion. I am so proud of you guys. And that concludes our tournament today. I'm sure we'll meet again soon. Bye for now!
Victory is yours. It belongs to those who fight, to those who act with courage, to those who aim for the top, without forgetting their dreams and where they come from. Victory, it's reserved for those who persist, for those who inspire respect in their team, fear in their foes, and passion in the crowd. 3 continents, 3 champions, 1 goal, victory.